weekend. Amber waves of grain and all that. Manhattan, Kansas on a sunny Saturday afternoon. K-State fans are wild about their Cats this year. What's not to like? It is a battle of two teams coming off impressive wins. You've got the Troy Trojans. They've won 12 consecutive games, folks. Can you believe it? They are now in the heart of Big 12 country. They're going to take on the Kansas State Wildcats, currently ranked 15th in the country. So glad you could join us with my longtime partner, Devin Gardner. I am Eric Collins. Now, folks, frequently we come on the air, we talk about quarterback play. Devin, you're a former quarterback. Of course. We're not going to do that today, even though Kansas State's got Will Howard's a really good signal caller, because you want to talk about a tight end in Ben Sinnott.
Yeah, a tight end, but I think he's more of a positionless player. Similar to Deuce Vaughn that all the fans remember from a year ago. You got to know where he is. Here, he's going to line up at the H-back position. He's going to be at the point of attack blocking for running backs. You know, tight ends don't do that much often anymore. Now he's lined up at tight end. He's going to block? No, he's going up the rail for a pass with a nice back shoulder catch. Look at the fluidity of his movements. And then we got him at outside receiver, running a route. He probably should have got the ball there, but no. He changed to the scramble drill and then makes a play in the end zone. I'm just telling you, Ben Sinnott could be the most complete tight end in America. That's right, Eric. I said it, the most complete tight end in America, and Troy's going to have some trouble finding out where he is.
Well, you're talking the talk. He walked the walk last week. 5 catches, 100 yards. Not bad at all. All right, now we got to get a little sugar to the folks from Troy. The Troy Trojans coming out of the Sun Belt. They've won 12 consecutive games, and they've got one of the best running attacks in the entire country. Kimani Vidal was magical last week.
Absolutely, Eric. I think that we're going to get a little strength-on-strength opportunity here. K-State only allowed 6 yards rushing a week ago, and this young man on your screen, the bowling ball, as I like to call him, he had 248 yards, about 9.9 a carry, but I'm going to call it 10. I'm just telling you, he can hit the home run. He's got great speed, clocked 21 miles per hour in practice at one point. He is going to be a terror for this defense, and the challenge is to slow him down and make the quarterback beat you.
The yellow number, the most yards in FBS during week 1. Not bad at all. Let's do it. Should be a fair fight. We've got two teams with big dreams. We've got the Trojans. We've got the Wildcats. And we will kick it off when we come back.
What are we talking about?
Crap.
Crap.
Crap. Crap.
Crap.
Crap. Crap.
Crap. Crap. Crap. Crap. Crap. Crap.
Crap.
Crap. Crap.
Everyone's talking about Crapopolis, the new comedy from Dan Harmon, co-creator of Rick and Morty.
You still can't die, right, Mum?
Of course I can't die. I'm a goddess. What kind of idiot are you?
Witness the start of civilization.
I swear it's not as bad as the name sounds. All that look.
Crapopolis, special premiere September 24th after football.
Crap.
Jane.
Part of Animation Domination on Fox.
Last year's Big 12 champs, the Kansas State Wildcats, making their entrance. Bill Snyder Family Stadium, Manhattan, Kansas, on a spectacular September afternoon. Temperature kickoff 76 degrees, just a mild wind, just lazily just moving through the building. 3 miles per hour, humidity 41%. Let's do it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Some football weather here.
Yeah, it is. Second all-time meeting between Kansas State and the Troy Trojans. Today's key to the game, sponsored by Charles Schwab. Own your tomorrow.
Yeah, for Troy, you've got to bring the cloud and push them back. Bring the cloud. What is that? Well, they play a cloud 3 defense where they're going to make it very, very cloudy for the vision of Will Howard, the quarterback for Kansas State, and they have to put pressure on Kansas State on early downs. And then for Kansas State, you need to take the layup. Will Howard has big talent, big arm, but he's got to hit his layups and then make the big plays when they're there, and then force them to go long. Force Troy into those long down and distances where their quarterback has to trot out there and make plays with his arm.
Chris Kleiman, year 5 under his watch, and he has done a bang-up job out in Manhattan. Last year winning it all. Of course, taking his team to the Sugar Bowl. Before that, longtime head coach at North Dakota State, won 4 national championships at the FCS level. There's John Summerall, former linebacker in the SEC. He played for Rich Brooks at Kentucky, now his 2nd year with Troy. And he is a real whiz-bang right now. He's coming off last year where he was named the Sun Belt Coach of the Year.
Yeah, how about 2 teams that won their respective conferences getting a chance to get after it here on a Saturday afternoon?
Kansas State, they've won the coin toss, and they want the football. They're greedy. They want to get it started right now. They're coming off a 45-0 win over SEMO in this building a week ago. And we have two teams that both had double-digit wins last year. Kansas State 10-4, where you had the Detroit Trojans, who finished 12-2. Currently on a 12-game winning streak when you talk about what happened at the end of last year and their win last week. Only the Georgia Bulldogs have won more consecutive games than Troy. All right, Phillip Brooks and Seth Porter back deep to receive the opening kickoff. Zach Long will kick it away. Brooks very dangerous. Porter has got a chance as well. All right, ready to play. Long's kick, returnable. Bounces at the 16. This is Brooks. And Brooks barrels out close to the 30-yard line. And that is where Will Howard and the offense for Kansas State will begin today's ball game. Will Howard, the senior quarterback from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. That's about 45 minutes west of Philadelphia.
I've loved watching his development. This is his first time this season getting a chance to be the unquestioned starter. And when I talked to offensive coordinator Colin Klein yesterday, he said he's taking big strides, but he has to continue to take more. He wants more from him. He wants them to hit the layups. He wants them to make the plays that are available to him and then be special when he has to be special.
Tight formation. Lone back in the backfield is DJ Giddens. They fake it to Giddens. And quickly getting it out. Catch is made, and Phillip Brooks is brought down. It's a gain of 5 on first down. Kansas State veteran offensive line. We're going to talk all afternoon long about Connor Beebe. He wears number 50. Starts the game at left guard, but he's expected to play probably both tackle spots before it's all said and done this afternoon. They fake the handoff. Howard gets it off. And it is caught. It's again Brooks. So the opening kickoff run back by Brooks, and the first two plays from scrimmage are both passes to Phillip Brooks.
You won't believe this, Eric. That play doesn't look like it was supposed to happen. Brooks was kind of moseying down the field, kind of like the wind on the day, and he just happened to see the ball pop out, come at him. I don't know if that was a mistake on whose part, but it's a first down either way.
Get it to Brooks again. Well, they go in an opposite direction, looking for R.J. Garcia, and there's your first incompletion.
Yeah, again, not on the same page there. You can see that Garcia's trying to get up the seam. He's not really ready for the ball. He could be one of those clear-out routes, and the ball comes. So for Will Howard in this offense, they have to settle down, right, and get back to playing good football, knowing exactly what all the assignments are.
Second down and 10. Here's your first running play. It's Giddens to the edge. He's got the first down. Giddens coming off a 128-yard day a week ago.
It's a very nice job by Giddens. He's just going to get there and get behind his offensive line. I'm just telling you, when they lose a guy like Deuce Vaughn, you always look, where is the running attack going to come from? And Giddens is no slouch. He is going to be able to shoulder the load, and then Treshawn Ward, number 9, the transfer from Florida State, is going to come in and spell him when he can.
Fresh set of downs. Giddens still in the game. This is Brooks. This is the third catch for Phillip Brooks. And he's inside the 30 to the 29. Looking like Jordy Nelson back in the day. 3 catches in the first 2 minutes of our game.
He's a little shaken up now.
So it's a 5-yard gain, and it's Brooks who's gassed right now, down on a knee.
It's just kind of a screen. You're going to try and get the offensive lineman out in front of it. He runs down the field, comes back, and I don't know what happened on this play. It didn't look like anything's too drastic while he was running. It's always tough when you get those guys that are hustling from behind the play and you just don't know to brace yourself because you're getting hit from behind.
So Brooks is going to go to the sideline. He's already got 3 catches for 32 yards, coming off a week ago when he had 6 catches for 40 yards.
It's good to see him walking off the field, though. He's a guy they're going to need, and he's going to replace some of that production that's going to be lost from Deuce Vaughn. He's a smaller guy, but he can make all those plays in the receiving game. And now you got the new running back, Treshaun Ward, in for Giddens.
He wears number 9, 2nd down at 5. Garcia, the man in motion. This is Ward. His first touch, stumbles and tackled from behind. That's A.J. Pierce on the tackle, no gain.
On top of number 97, A.J. Pierce. No gain.
Last week, Kansas State really wasn't threatened. They flexed their muscle. 45-0, the final score against SEMO. Now a 3rd down play.
It's like cover 4. They may try to get to the middle. Middle of the field is open.
6-man rush. Oh, they beat it with a draw. This is Ward. Treshaun Ward inside the 10. Finally tackled by Del Pettis, but that's a gain of 20.
They've got guys out of the box. You'll get another one up there. They're going to run this football. A lot of people say, well, it's 3rd down. You should probably throw the ball. Well, no, not if they have guys removed from the box. And when you get number 9, Treshaun Ward, one-on-one with one defender, I'll take that matchup every single time. Nice job by Coach Klein, the offensive coordinator.
It was a 6-man rush, but no one came up the middle. Howard to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Kansas State. Jaden Jackson. Heck of a drive to begin the ball game for the Kansas State Wildcats. Close to perfect.
I mean, it's simple, bang 8, just a skinny post after play action with the running back. Now, I think that Kansas State did a very good job because they love to run the ball, especially when you get down here. They just ran it on 3rd down where they pull a guard or tackle to come around, and it really gives the appearance that it is a run play, and then the passing lanes are wide open.
Extra point is true by Chris Tennant. And a wonderful way to start the game for Kansas State. 8-play, 71-yard drive, capped off by the touchdown to Jaden Jackson.
Welcome back. Kansas State just put together a very impressive drive. Let's see how they got in the end zone. They showed a run look. You got Hanley Panzer, number 54, pulling, and now you got the linebacker seeing that. They're going to react. They're going to come downhill and attack, and when they attack, there's open space in the end zone. A touchdown throw to Jaden Jackson. Very nice job of a design and a nice job of execution by the Kansas State offense.
So now Troy with an opportunity to touch the football. Devontae Ross starts from the own end zone, and Ross out across the 20. Out across the 35, close to the 40. It's an aggressive return by the sophomore, Devontae Ross. Good starting field position for the Troy Trojans. Quarterback for Troy, senior from Butler, Georgia, Gunnar Watson. Given name is Milton, but he goes by Gunnar. Close to 7,000 career passing yards for the senior.
Well, 7,000 career passing yards. He is a gunner, right? And he's going to have to use that gun today because I think wholeheartedly that the Kansas State defense is going to commit to stopping Kamani Vidal, who was exceptional last week.
Vidal, number 28, from Marietta, Georgia, in the backfield next to Watson. And they start in the air. And the pass is incomplete, trying to get it to Ross. 2nd down and 10. The offensive line for the Troy Trojans, their center familiar with this field, Eli Russ, transfer from Oklahoma State, played against Kansas State just a year ago. And Vidal, last week, just magical with the 248 yards. Just a split time. We'll see some with Asa Martin running out of the backfield as well. Jabri Barber, the man in motion. And another pass, and this one's caught but immediately tackled is Barber. No gain. That's Marquise Siegel. Didn't play last week. He's in the starting lineup today, and he makes his presence felt.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Very nice job triggering on that quick screen type of play.
There's your defensive line for Kansas State. Linebackers Green and Moore, ton of experience. And Marquise Siegel didn't play last week, was suspended. Coach is telling us he's going to make a difference with his start today.
It's going to be zero coverage. Nobody in the middle of the field except for the referee.
3rd down and 10. Underneath. And the catch is made, but nowhere close to the line to gain. It's Marcus Rogers with the grab. It's going to be a 3 and out.
When you get to that zero coverage, you see zero coverage, you have to try to sprint someone to the middle of the field. It's a long way to cover if you take a guy from one side of the field to the other. Just throwing the hitch or the curl route is not going to be conducive to success. These defensive backs for Kansas State were all over it.
Well, it's a tough welcome to Manhattan, Kansas for Troy. They give up a touchdown when Kansas State has the ball. And on their first touch, they have to punt it away after just 3 plays from scrimmage. Here comes Brooks back into the game, and he is forced out of bounds after a 10-yard return. It's a 40-yard punt, 10-yard return, and Kansas State will have the football for a second time when we come back. First time is close to perfection. Can they do it again? Today on FS1, our bag is bursting. Tonight, we've got more college football coming your way as UCF battles Boise State at 7 Eastern. Then Oklahoma State taking on Arizona State at 10:30. It is a huge night of football on FS1. All right, second offensive possession for Kansas State. They already lead Troy 7-0. Howard keeps it. And Howard gets 7, maybe 8 yards on first down.
When you see Howard's stature, you just don't know that he can do these things. You're going to get guys out in front, and he's going to let the play ride, and then gets underneath on that quarterback power. Very nice job of him. If he can do that just to keep the offense balanced and let everybody know that he will take off and run, it's going to bowl really well for this offense.
2nd down and 3. A lot of different things you could do. 5-man rush. And Giddens can't make the play, looping out of the backfield. Really the first fly in the ointment so far offensively for K-State. So it's 3rd down and 3. For Will Howard, this is his 17th start. Always great to have experience at that position on the field.
Remember, they went to the run game here last time on 3rd down and short, but they got such soft coverage.
Giddens gets the first down. He needed 3, he got 4.
You always think when they bring a guy in motion, it creates much softer coverage, and you're going to try to get him the ball quickly with only 3 yards to go. But this play should be stopped for a short gain and not enough of a first down. But Giddens, his strength allows him to power through and get the first down.
Giddens 6'1", 212 pounds.
It's a big man.
Sophomore from Junction City, Kansas. Junction of a couple rivers flowing into the Kansas River, for those wondering. First down and 10. They fake it to Giddens. Howard. Nobody home. Looking for R.J. Garcia.
Pass is incomplete.
This is the second all-time meeting between these two schools, but it's been 20 years in the making. 2003, the only other meeting. That was L. Roberson, Darren Sproles era of Kansas State football. All right, Ben Sinnott is now in the backfield next to Howard. Quick hitter, almost picked off. That was Jaden McDonald, who got 2 hands on the football with nothing but green in front of him.
It's a super impressive play. Jay McDonald is going to come in, and then he's going to retrace back out once he sees it's a pass play. He's coming to your screen. He's going to back out and stop that. Kansas State trying to go fast on us there, huh?
That's not going to work against Troy. They call a timeout.
A nice job by Troy.
So Coach Summerall, who is a defensive coach by nature, He wasn't thrilled with what he saw, knew his team probably didn't have the right personnel, and he called the timeout.
Let's take a look. He's going to be over here. You can't really see him. He's going to come into the line of scrimmage, and then he's going to back out, right? He's going to play the run first, and then you see him there. He's going to back out, and that's why he's right underneath. Just eye discipline. When I talked to their defensive coordinator, he talked about how the eye discipline of his linebacker is really going to help him in this game because of the RPO and the different style of play that Kansas State plays with. Very nice job of eye discipline by Jaden McDonald.
And for the folks at home, eye discipline is basically trust what you see.
Absolutely. You see run, you play run, but also you have to know they get into that pass set, you have to protect the run. But when they get into that pass set for the offensive lineman, you back out and you try to make a play like he did there.
All right, after the timeout by Troy. Howard. Giddens. And he goes down. Nice tackle made by Reddy Stewart. That is a 178-pound corner who brought down the 212-pound Giddens in the open field.
I said cloud the boundary. To the right of your screen, you're going to see the cornerback is going to run with the receiver, and then he's going to go back into the boundary and cloud it. So now when Giddens gets this ball, he's there to make the play. Very nice job of Troy giving different pictures for Will Howard and trying to confuse him. He makes a short tackle on a very tough guy to bring down.
Earning the scholarship. That's a nice tackle by Stewart. So the punt team will have to come on. Jack Bloomer gets off a boomer. Well into the back of the end zone. So Troy much better this time on defense. And now their offense will get a second chance to make a first impression. The offense for Troy back on the field when we return. Close to halfway through our first quarter. It is a 7-0 lead. Kansas State, the 15th ranked team in the country, leading Troy. But Troy, maybe some momentum. They play good defense. They get the ball back. Maybe we'll see Mr. Vidal this time.
I think he absolutely has to touch the ball on this carry. He didn't touch it on the 3-and-out that they had a drive ago. You got to get it to him. Everybody knows, right? Don't hide him. Get him the ball.
Kimani Vidal, his first carry. Didn't come easy, but he gets 3. Austin Moore on the tackle, number 41. Former walk-on who is now a senior captain. Coaching staff wanted to talk on and on about progress he has made and what he means to the team.
Similar to Kansas State's offense, Troy uses a lot of 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends, and they're going to use their tight ends sometimes at the point of attack. They have to hold their blocks just a little bit longer, and those runs could be big.
Play action. Incomplete, looking in the direction of Chris Lewis. It'll bring up 3rd down.
It's a nice job of man-to-man defense because you got a guy in between you and the wide receiver. He does a good job of letting one guy pass, and then he's sitting there, closes off that slant route. Great technique, and then he finds a way to get in and put that hand in there to get the ball out. Nice job by Parrish, sorry.
3rd down at 7. Line to gains the 30. Catch is made. And close to the first down marker, Devontae Ross. Are they going to give him the extension of the ball? Jacob Parrish made a nice tackle, and it is going to be a 1st down.
That's an outstanding play and a good job of awareness, knowing where you are on the field. Right, they have a perfect play design versus man defense, a shallow cross, and then he lands on top of the defender and reaches the ball out for a 1st down.
Fans didn't like it at all. Watson's pass. Out of bounds. Catch was made, but Barber had a foot on the white.
You know, fans aren't happy, but I think it's a perfect call on 3rd down, right? He's running, and now once he starts to get tackled by Parrish, he lands on top of Parrish, right? Nothing. Oh, that knee might have been down, but it looks like he lands on top of Parrish. Very unclear. Nice job of Troy having a plan, going fast, so that they can't even get to review, and they can further this drive.
2nd down at 10. Vidal. 2nd run for Vidal, and this one is his best. It is a pickup of 7 yards.
Everybody has to be good at the point of attack. Everybody has to be good at the point of attack. Very nice job by Vidal getting into the line of scrimmage, pressing the hole, and then getting to the cutback. Very nice job there, and he's always a guy that's going to lean forward.
He's only 5'8", but he weighs 215 pounds.
It's a bowling ball.
Yeah, it's got to be difficult to tackle. You got to get low, but you also got to have a ton of force to bring him down.
Low man wins, but what about when he starts off low?
3rd down and 3. Caught. First down. Hits the tight end. That's Allendike. Gain of 12. This is more like it.
This is one of my favorite concepts, that flanker drive. Get a shallow cross like they showed on the last 3rd down, but also you have a dig, a basic cross by the tight end, getting to the middle of the field.
Vidal. Tackled in space beautifully. That's Siegel. Marcus Siegel. The coaches told us he'd make a difference, and he has.
You want to get a guy on the ground that's already low, you got to go lower. Very nice job by Siegel getting in and grabbing that ankle and not letting go. Hold on tight, because I'm just telling you, Vidal is powerful, and he hit a whole bunch of home runs last week, and you don't want to see him get going the way he did.
2nd down and 9. 4-receiver formation. Watson. Caught. That's another catch by Devontae Ross. He'll be short of the line to gain. It's 3rd down.
It's a very nice job. He ran a route, what we call a 9-stop. Runs 9 yards, then essentially just turns around and retraces back down the stem. Nice timing by Gunnar Watson. Get back, hit that back foot, either hitch or off of the plant throw the ball on time, and no matter how close the defenders are, it's going to be hard for them to stop you.
All right, this is going to be the 9th play of the drive for Troy. 3rd down and 5.
You can outflank the defense to the top right away.
Just a 4-man rush, and that's going to be short of the line to gain. Just barely short. That's Chris Lewis on the catch. Do you go for it on 4th down?
I mean, it's another opportunity for you to show and feature your running back. Very nice job, but Lewis has got to try to catch this ball standing up, and he can be helped by Gunnar Watson. Put that ball right on his shoulder pads, and he'll have a lot more and a for sure 1st down. But now they get an opportunity here on 4th and 1, and with the running back that they have, Kimani Vidal, I think this is the right decision.
4th down and 1. Vidal didn't get there. Got absolutely stoned before he got back to the line of scrimmage. Troy turns it over on downs. Oh, what might have been. Troy had a good drive cooking, but it ends when they can't convert 4th down. Austin Moore, what a tackle.
Troy just turned the ball over on downs, and they were stoned. When you want to pick up a 4th and 1, you have to create a new line of scrimmage. They're not able to do that, and this is the reason. Number 66 right there, the center, he gets submarine at the point of attack. And if you cannot move, guys, this play is dead before it even starts. Very nice job by Javon Banks, number 92 in purple, a guy who you would think it would be Uso in there, right? Big 340-pound defensive lineman. No, they had the young guy, Javon Banks, in there.
So that was a 10-play, 37-yard drive for Troy. The results in nothing. So Kansas State back on offense. They give it to Trayshawn Ward. And Ward gets just 1 yard on 1st down. Cooper Beebe, who told you he's going to play all over the line. He's number 50, had been the left guard. And Beebe is right now at right tackle. Top of your screen. I just find that fascinating. Howard. Pass is complete. R.J. Garcia with the grab. First catch for Garcia.
And one of the first drop back passes you're going to see. Very nice job, just a slant route. Quickly get inside, catch the ball, and I love the ability to make combat catches, right? A combat catch described as a guy is about to hit you and you still got to make the play. Very nice job by Garcia.
Howard had 2 people surrounding Ben Sinnott. Ben Sinnott's not going to surprise too many people this year.
100%. We featured him in the open for a reason, and Troy knows all about him. When we were on the coaches call, they said we are going to know where 34 lines up because he lines up everywhere, and we're going to know where he's going on the field. And for Will Howard, you have to not force that. Remember, we talked about taking the layups. Don't force it to him. It's going to come to you at some point, and the plays are going to be there. Last week, he threw an interception trying to force the ball down the field with 3 defenders around center. Now, granted, he was being hit while he threw it, but still, you throw the ball into 3 defenders, nothing's good's going to happen.
Ward can't get to the line of scrimmage. Wonderful open field tackle. Caleb Ransaw, junior linebacker.
Watch the sacrifice. From here, you're going to see a guy run through, and it's going to be number 9 running to make sure, boom, he hits BB, and now you create this pileup, and all the offensive linemen can't get around. That's what you're going to have to do if you're Troy, because you're a little undersized. You have to sacrifice guys in the back end. When you see it's run, you have to commit. Now, for Kansas State, if you see that happening too much, you got to try to hit them over the top with big plays.
And movement. I think this is the first time we've seen a flag on the field. Am I right? Yeah, we're close to the end of the first quarter. This is the first time we've called out the referee, Stephen Barron, with a penalty.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
I like it how he just gave KT Leviston the stiff arm as well.
Right there, just to see the quick move. I love when offensive linemen, who are the biggest people on the field generally, try to freeze after they move. It's like, we saw you, big guy.
So he calls the penalty on Leviston, and then Leviston tries to walk into him, and he stiff-armed him. The referee's just a man of many talents. I love it. So it's 3rd and 16. Howard caught. Oh my goodness, they're going to get the first down. Jaden Jackson works a miracle. A 25-yard pickup on 3rd and 16.
This play was one at the line of scrimmage. Move, 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 and then get vertical and down the field. Nice job of making this play work. When you get into those stack formations, it makes it increasingly difficult for the defenders to shake out who they're going to cover. Nice job of patience at the start, and you have to give credit to that offensive line because that route took just a bit to develop and to get downfield. Very nice job by Jackson.
And we've got a defender for Troy down on the field. And we're going to keep it here. That's a big play for Will Howard. 3rd down and 16. You don't convert those a whole heck of a lot throughout the course of the season. But not only did they complete it, but it's a 25-yard pickup, and the ball's all the way down to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and for Will Howard, I mean, that's what you're going to have. You got a guy like Sennett where you know guys are going to bring attention to him. They are going to try to put more than one guy in his way to make sure he can't do the things he wants to do. But these receivers, Jaden Jackson, R.J. Garcia, and they got some young guys as well. Phillip Brooks, who's a talented pass catcher. You've got so many weapons, you don't have to force anything. Take all those little layups, take those small chunks, and then the big plays will come.
And the old phenomenon, it happens at every level of football. It's happening right now at Kansas State for Chris Kleiman. Everyone loves Will Howard. He's been a great soldier. He's won a lot of games. Of course, last year, Big 12 champs. But they got a young kid. Everyone loves the backup quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. Last week, Avery Johnson, true freshman, came on and just set the world on fire. And so a lot of questions this week. Hey, can you ever incorporate him into what you're doing?
They shut it down.
And like, no. This is Will Howard's team. Yeah. We're only going to go as far as Will Howard takes us.
I mean, look at that smile. It's $1 million smile there. But he has to continue to develop and play good football. But a little more on Avery Johnson. He's got some skills now. I remember seeing him at the Elite 11, coaching Elite 11, and seeing him. And he came in as a guy that's super explosive as a runner. And everybody was wondering, is he the passer that he can be? And I'm just telling you, he showed a lot of people that he is a guy that's poised to be an outstanding passer and runner at the next level. And here he is at Kansas State, just waiting for his opportunity.
All right, so we have an injury timeout right now. It's number 5, Don Callis.
Kind of went limp there after he made contact. Jackson. Initially, he was trying to get up, right? He was fighting and trying to get up with the staff who knows more than him and us, of course. They're telling him, hey, just wait. Let's kind of do our tests and our assessments to make sure that you're okay. But he's going to be chomping at the bit to get back in this game.
Callis listed as the 3rd cornerback, so he plays quite a bit. If he doesn't come back in the game, we'll keep an eye on who replaces him. That's one of the strengths of this Troy team is the defensive backfield. A lot of experience. You're starting corners and Reddy Stewart and O'Shea Fletcher, both seniors. You got Callis as the 3rd corner, who's a senior as well. Your safeties, Del Pettis is in his 49th consecutive start. He's a senior. Keyshawn Swanson is the pup. Just as a junior. But the defensive backfield is something they feel really good about heading into this game.
Absolutely. It's good to see him walking off the field, And this is, I think, a case of you've got to protect the player, right? Because we as players, we can't protect ourselves, right? And so they're just making sure they take all the precautions to make sure that he's okay.
Okay, so after that 25-yard gain, it's first down and 10. Ball's officially on the 26. Ward bangs it down inside the 20. Jaden McDonald on the tackle, but it's a gain of 7. McDonald transfer from Iowa. Didn't play much last year, had a torn ACL, but he is a difference maker when healthy and available. Second down and 3. Ward again. Man, he can make you miss in a tight area. McDonald another tackle, but that's going to be right on the first down marker.
That's back-to-back plays for Ward, showing great patience. And when we talked to the coaching staff, they said, well, he's talented, but he needs to figure out how to run our schemes. Allow these guys to pass, and then you get underneath that. That's a very good job of having patience and not sprinting outside like he would usually do in old schemes that he's played in. Nice job showing development from week to week.
Now Giddens back in, replacing Ward. Howard wants to throw. And the pass too high for Garcia.
Intended for number 3.
They try to go to a little shake, right? A little hitch, and then go to the post. I would count that for Will Howard as a throwaway, and I like the decision, right? You go into this thing where you can't hold the ball. It's touchdown or check down. You don't want to hold the ball down here in the red zone and take sacks. And you can see Colin Klein, the one that's dialing it up, the former Kansas State quarterback. Great.
Ninth play of this drive. Giddens working behind the block by Sinnott inside the 15. And Troy helmet comes off, which means that player is going to have to leave the field. So on this fourth down, Buda Jones.
Look at these big fellas get on the outside and watch as they move. I mean, look at these athletic moves, the little skip step there, and they try to get out in front. And nice job of getting hold, and then try to burst through the hole. Nice job of Troy being in position to make this play, knowing that the cutback is something that Kansas State loves to do with their running backs.
All right, on third down, Buda Jones leaves the game on the defensive line. Number 97, A.J. Pierce, is new to the game.
That's Sinnott right there, number 3 to the top of your screen. He's going to take the attention of at least 2 defenders from Troy, and if they don't, he should get the ball.
Giddens got it. There's a flag down. And Giddens has the first down if this holds up. Clock has gone to 000, so that'll be the final play of our first quarter.
Interested to see what the initial flag was. It has to be a defensive penalty just because if it's one of those pre-snap offensive penalties.
Defense, number 9, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
All right, so Giddens keep moving those legs, even though he saw that yellow hanky on the ground, gets the first down for Kansas State. Now they're going to go the entire length of the field and try and punch in a touchdown when we come back to start our second quarter.
Take a look at how Ben Sinnott affects the linebacker. Very nice job. Jaden McDonald points over there, and so now he creates winner blocks. He's going to be able to get up to that second level unevaded and make sure that he cuts off so Giddens can get outside. Very nice job of Ben Sinnott, who has to do nothing, right? He's just a threat, and now you create winner blocks and open lanes for the offensive line to get to the second level.
First and goal, first play of our second quarter. Giddens trying to push the pile and gets as far as the 2-yard line. We saw close to equal amounts of Treshaun Ward and DJ Giddens in our first quarter. Second down and goal. Of the two, Giddens would be the bigger back. He's 6'1", 212. Ward is 5'10", 194. Right tackle right now is Cooper Beebe. That's the second position he's played today.
They got an opportunity right here, a smaller outside defender to run right at him. There it goes.
Oh, it's an easy touchdown, Phillip Brooks. How about that little inside handoff to the wide receiver coming around, and it is an easy score for Brooks. The lead is 13-0 Kansas State.
Richard Jubinor, he's in position. He knows he has to sacrifice a lot because he's just not a big guy. And when he sacrifices, he gives up that edge. And you can see Brooks get on the outside for an easy touchdown.
13-0. 3 drives for Kansas State, 2 touchdowns. Here's Chris Tennant. 12 plays, 56 yards. Took 4 minutes and 25 seconds off the game clock. That's a lot of plays, not a ton of yardage.
Yeah.
But you'll take the 7 points.
Absolutely, but that's what you want to see from Will Howard. We know he has the big play capability. We know this offense has the big play capability. But at some point during this season, they're going to have to put drives together. And a 12-play, 56-yard drive, that's exactly what you want. That means you're being consistent. You're knowing exactly where your assignment and alignment is. And for Will Howard, you're hitting your layups.
Solid day for Howard. Getting a chance to chill a little bit right now. His team comfortably up 14-0. But don't go to sleep on the Troy Trojans. Remember, they are second to only Georgia in terms of active winning streak. They've won 12 consecutive games dating back to last year. Champions of the Sun Belt. They've got some pride on that sideline. Devontae Ross back deep to receive this kickoff. And that's a mistake. That is going to be good starting field position for Troy as the ball just sails out of bounds. Chris Tennant wants a do-over. Well, last year for Troy, not bad at all. They lost their first 2 out of 3 games. What was that, a Hail Mary at App State? That's a gut punch. But then they won 9 consecutive regular season games. A lot of them were close. They defeated Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt Championship game, and they defeated UTSA in their bowl game. That's the Cure Bowl. So 11 consecutive wins to end the season, and they won last week. So 12 straight wins for the men of Troy.
It's been very impressive to see what head coach John Summerall has been able to do in such a short time. Remember, they 5-7 2 straight years before he got there, and then they go 12-2 and win a championship.
Vidal's out of the game. Asa Martin, we knew he was going to play a bunch. He gets his first carry. Asa Martin, a senior from Cortland, Alabama, began his college experience at Memphis. He had 3 carries a week ago for 22 yards.
At the start here, Kansas State is doing a very good job against this strong Troy run game, making sure they keep all that in front of them and cover their gaps, make sure everybody's in place. And it's happening because you have a talented linebacker in Green, Deuce Green, Daniel Green. He's done a very good job of being in position. There he is again, forcing that high throw.
Incomplete. BJ Payne, backup defensive back, almost had a chance for a pick on the deflection.
When you get your linebackers in position to make sure that that ball is high, Payne, you can see him just a little bit. Very close. You were very close, and it's because of your ability of your linebackers to make sure you force those high throws. You jump up and make sure that Troy quarterback cannot get that ball navigated over you and before the defenders.
3rd down.
Got soft coverage to the bottom of your screen.
Oh, it's a big-time catch by Ethan Connor, the freshman tight end. I'm sorry, the junior transfer tight end.
Does a very good job of just wrapping around the linebacker, and a nice job by Gunner. Gunning that thing right in there after the linebacker and before the safety. And how about the combat catch ability to catch that ball after taking a big shot? Ethan Connor, they are very excited about this tight end who came in as a wide receiver. They convinced him to play tight end. He was against it, but now he's got himself a real good career that he can have.
Yeah, last year this time, Ethan Connor was a junior college wide receiver. Life has changed. Down goes Watson. Nate Matlack with the sack.
That's a nice job on Matlack, but look, this is going to force it, and then Matlack comes underneath. Very nice job working together as a team at the top of your screen. Racing to the quarterback and forcing him up into the pocket. And when you're in position, when your teammates help, you are in position to make plays. Nice job by Lee and Matlack working together to get that sack.
I don't know if he's shooting a bow and arrow or starting up a lawnmower, but I like it. 2nd down and 13. And Martin Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a yard short. Desmond Purnell on that tackle.
Eric, on that last play, lined up at defensive end into the nub side of the offense, that was Will Lee, the corner, a quarterback in that rushing position. I'm just like, wait, who is this? This isn't a guy that usually does this. Very nice job getting out to the quarterback and then coming flat and forcing him up in the pocket. And now you got 3rd down and 11. This is not a situation that you want to be in if you're Troy. You want to try to stay on schedule, but you can see down here, they're going to make sure they stack these receivers so they can get a free release to get down the field.
3rd and 11. Watson's pass is picked off. It's Will Lee. The corner's got the ball, and he's down at the 46. What a drive for Will Lee all over the field for Kansas State.
I mean, absolutely amazing. He starts off as a pass rusher on 1st down to make sure you get to a long 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, he comes underneath and makes a play. You cannot be off when you're playing a guy that's 6'3", 185 pounds. He's got great length, and if the ball is not put out in front, he's going to make a play on it every time, and this guy is going to intercept it. Very nice job by Lee being in that trail position, kind of baiting the quarterback, and then making a play on the ball, and then getting a little more.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Will Lee rushing the passer and picking off a pass in deep secondary. That's his 1st career interception. Now the other Will Howard. Little quick hitter finds Phillip Brooks. For Brooks, that is now catch number 4 on the day. He has run the ball once, and that was his touchdown.
See Kansas State getting back into their RPO offense where Will Howard is always so successful. Very nice job throwing that little inside slant.
Troy defensive line moving around, a little bit of confusion. Taking advantage, Brooks, 2nd consecutive catch. He's down to the 40. It's another 1st down for Kansas State, gain of 9.
It was confusion everywhere inside, and it's a nice job by Will Howard getting that ball hiked and getting the ball out to the uncovered Brooks. The only defender that was even close, well, he wasn't very close, he was like 25 yards back, the safety, and they're still trying to figure out where to get lined up.
Howard steps up, wants a bunch. Oh, it's a bad decision. It's an interception. Ready, Stewart with the pick and the touchback. I'm not sure what Will Howard is thinking about. But Stewart, who had an interception for a touchdown a week ago, gets his 2nd pick of the year.
That's an outstanding job by Reddy. Borrowing over, making a play. Troy's defense gets the ball back. Welcome back. Troy cornerback Reddy Stewart says, I see your turnover and I raise you an interception to get the ball back for my offense. This is cover 3, right? This is a 1-high defense, and in a 1-high defense, the open vacancy those are the seams. That's where you want to try to get this ball. Well, there's a thing called midpoint by the cornerback, where you can stay outside but also play that inside pattern. He does a good job of seeing it, gets over the top, makes the play. That is next level cornerback play, and I'm just telling you, if you're Will Howard, you got to get that ball out quickly, drive it in the seam, but he tries to throw it a little deep, waits, and now you got trouble.
1st down run, Kimani Vidal trying to get going. That's just carry number 5 for Vidal. Only 8 yards next to his name right now. That was actually a negative play, a loss of a yard. Vidal still in the game. He's going to run out of pass pattern. Can't get it to him as the pass is knocked down. Desmond Purnell, the converted safety, now playing linebacker, got a hand on it.
Did you see the speed in which he came? My goodness, when I asked the coaching staff about him moving down from that safety position to linebacker, I asked, does it have a kind of feel that your defensive team speed is a lot faster? And they said absolutely, and you can see it right there. When he's flying in there, he is a defensive back. He has defensive back speed, but he's running in there as a linebacker, and he gets the ball down.
3rd down. 3rd and 11.
Little false start, looked like almost.
I don't see a flag on the field. Oh, what a catch! There is a flag on the field, but a catch and a half made by Chris Lewis. Talk about climbing the ladder. If it stands, it's a 1st down, and it is going to stand. There is no flag on the field. All right, we move on. Chris Lewis with an attention grabber.
What an outstanding catch.
Pitch and catch. Ross, short gain.
I mean, a guy climbing the ladder, he's just going to get vertical, and this ball's just thrown up with an opportunity to make a play, right? He's not the guy that's supposed to get the ball. And he looks back and just reaches that paw up and snatches it out there. I don't even think he knew he was getting the ball. That is an outstanding athletic play.
Lewis is listed at 6'4". He got, well, his hand must have been 11 feet up in the air.
And he can dunk for sure.
Talk about a catch radius. 2nd down and 8. Watson. Incomplete. That's to the tight end, DeYoungcray Lewis. First time we've seen Lewis targeted. And it's 3rd down. 8:48 remaining in our first half. John Summerall and Troy riding a 12-game winning streak, but getting shut out here in our first half in Manhattan. Crowd getting into it.
Khalid Duke, obvious passing situations. He's got great movement.
Duke almost got home. Catch is made at the 50-yard line. That's going to be enough for the first down.
It's a nice job by Gunnar Watson, knowing I'm not going to have all day to get this ball out. He dropped back 1, 2, 3. He's going to hitch because Duke is coming on the outside. Very nice job of Watson climbing the pocket. One hitch, drive the ball. That's about all the time you're going to have with a guy like Khalid Duke, and a nice catch by Barber.
So the ball is now at the 50-yard line. Troy started to figure it out slowly but surely. Remember, they turned it over last time they had the football in this part of the field. Both sides with an interception thrown here in the second quarter. Devontae Ross, the man in motion. They get it to Ross. And Ross is stoned. Can't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. Kobe Savage, one of the best names of any defensive back in the country, just savages Devontae Ross.
Yeah, it was kind of like not quite a trick play, but kind of like a trick play, a little misdirection, and Savage was all over it.
Can you play offense if your name is Savage? You got to be a defender, right?
Got to be a defender.
2nd down and 11. Second time that Kansas State has had a tackle for loss on this Troy drive. Vidal, full head of steam. He's got the first down, by far and away the best run of the day for Kimani Vidal.
You're going to get guys in the line of scrimmage. I'm telling you, if you miss this guy, then you're going to have a long day. He's already very powerful at the point of attack. You miss there, and he is through that hole and up to the second level. This is what we saw last week, him being able to make guys miss, get through the hole, and get to the second level and make teams pay. He's going to do a nice job of it today if Kansas State doesn't dedicate more guys into the line of scrimmage.
Ninth play of the drive. Will Lee coming up from his corner spot, making the tackle along with Asa Newsome. Asa Newsome, number 23. He is a true freshman that they are super high on.
And that's the aforementioned more guys at the line of scrimmage. They help with the safety and the corner as well, coming up to make sure that the numbers are in their favor. Nice job of Kansas State's defense, recognizing where their faults are on that last play and then fixing it.
3rd tackle for loss on this drive for the defense of Kansas State. Watson caught inside the 15. Clayton Allendike.
Clayton Allendike does a very good job of coming out. It looks like he's blocking, so he gets in front of the defender. And number 1, Keenan Garber tries to go with that opposite hand, and he just misses.
Vidal patient through the line, gets it down to the 10. That pitch and catch, Watson to Allendike, 27 yards. It's the biggest play of the game so far for Troy.
This Troy offense is not going away. They haven't had a ton of success, especially putting drives together. This is their best drive of the day, and they're doing an outstanding job of converting on 3rd down, and a lot of times not even allowing the offense to get to 3rd down and converting first downs on 2nd.
2nd down and 9. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Nothing there at all. That's Jarvis Williams. First time we've seen him touch the football. So now we've seen Vidal, Asa Martin, and Jarvis Williams, 3 different tailbacks here in our first half for Troy.
Kansas State, they're putting all their guys in the box.
Thirteenth play of the drive.
That's 9 guys in position to stop the run. You got to go play action and try to get this ball outside.
They put Barber in motion. Underneath, short gain to Sean Stoudemire. And it's 4th down. Kicking unit's going to come on.
Just going to hook him up there, but that's essentially a run play, right? That's short. And all these defenders are up in the box making the play. There's nowhere deep for him to go. So you as an offense, you want to try to outflank the defense. You already had the leverage. Outflank the defense versus guys in the box.
All right, the kicker is Scott Taylor Renfro. We should mention that the holder is a backup quarterback, Goose Crowder, if they're getting a little frisky. Nope, standard issue. That is going to be a 24-yard field goal up and in for Scott Taylor Renfro. Now 3 for 3 on the year. So Troy, they cracked the seal. They trail 14-3. They are wild about the Cats in Manhattan, Kansas. 15th ranked team in the country. K-State leads Troy 14-3. 3:46 remaining here in our first half, and I love it. You get a visor on, you better be rocking. That's my philosophy. Troy just got on the board for the first time, 24-yard field goal. Oh! Trying to scare everyone in the building that maybe an onside was coming. I'm here to tell you it's not. Deep into the back of the end zone. And the fair catch is made. It'll be a touchback. And Kansas State will have the ball when we come back. They lead Troy by 11.
Coming up on the State Farm halftime, Coach Prime looks to ride the momentum in his home debut. Top-ranked Georgia goes for their 19th straight win. Plus, we'll preview a huge game between Texas and Alabama. Eric and Devin, it's back to you.
Wonderful stuff. I think that football had an NFL logo on it.
Yeah.
Mild problem with that. Besides that, looking forward to it. Thank you, Emmanuel. All right, 3:46 remaining in our second quarter. It is Kansas State with the football. Remember, last time they had it, Will Howard threw an interception in the end zone. Looking to atone. Howard, incomplete, trying to squeeze it. And don't try and do that when Reddy Stewart is on watch. That guy is a stud.
Man, I mean, these defensive backs are rising to the challenge. This is not a late ball or something that's not on time. It's in the progression. He gets right to it. It could be a little bit more outside. Ball placement is so important when you have defenders like Reddy who are coming and rising to the challenge. You got to make sure you put that ball on the outside shoulder, and it could be a completion.
Giddens. Nope. He was having success running that play earlier. This time it is met with force. Stephen Catledge and others on the tackle.
All
right, so it's 3rd down at 7. Troy dreaming big dreams. They'd like to get off the field defensively and get the ball back. Caught by Sinnott, and he's short of the line to gain. That's Del Pettis in his 49th consecutive start at safety.
That's a mistake there by Sinnott. He goes and he just sets up short of the first down. This is something where you have to get there and make sure you're in position to catch, maybe get tackled, and be past the first down marker. Very nice job of the defender, number 1, Del Pettis, coming up and making that play and getting the big fella to the ground before he can run and get the first down.
So Jack Bloomer will punt the football away. Jabri Barber is back deep. And Barber calls for the fair catch at the 25-yard line. All right, so Troy's D does its job. Their offense will be on the field when we come back. The NFL regular season kicks off tomorrow on Fox with a huge doubleheader. First, Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers going to take on the Steelers or other regional action. Then in America's Game of the Week, Jordan Love leads the Packers against Justin Fields and the Bears, or the Rams battle the Seahawks. It all kicks off tomorrow on Fox. Bears right out of the chute.
Yeah, I'm so excited, man. You got the young guy for the Bears and then the young guy for the Packers. Opportunity to change those programs' fortunes.
Troy's got the football. Watson gets it away. It's caught. This is Barber out across the 50. He's still in bounds. Keep it going. Down to the 45. Jabri Barber picks up 30 yards.
I mean, just a good job by Watson, understanding the timing in the pocket that he has to work. He's not going to be able to extend plays and wait and hitch and hitch. He goes 1, 2, 3. He hitches and gets that ball out to Barber on time, because if he waits one more second, Khalid Duke is going to be on him. Very nice job by Watson understanding the situations.
Now they're taking a little bit of time right here. Oh, I've never seen that. Guy's running across the field on the other side of the ball. I've never seen a guy go in motion on the defensive side of the ball. With 6 on the shot clock, Watson. His pass is incomplete. Second down.
Watson's going to get the ball to Barber, and Barber, it's just so hard to cover a guy running across the field, especially in zone defense, right? He gets through the zone and finds the open area. Very nice job. And then how about getting a little more, right? This Troy team came in here, and they are trying to make sure they put their team in position to win this game and make it their 13 straight.
They just called a holding penalty on the defense of Kansas State. So the ball is going to be moved all the way to the 35. And now Troy, with time on their side, unless Kansas State calls timeout, they can take the ball to the end of our first half. And remember, Troy's going to get the ball first in our second half. So this could be a totally huge turnaround right now, engineered by Troy. Fidel can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Seomalu with the tackle. 340-pound defensive tackle from Hawaii.
And Big Uso, he wrapped around and was in position to make that play. And a nice job by Vidal, who shakes him just a little bit and minimizes the damage.
Troy Trojans have won 12 consecutive games. A lot of pride with that program. Down to 1:10 remaining in our first half. Watson, incomplete. There were 2 guys in the area. There is a flag down in the vicinity of the quarterback, Watson.
It might be a Jacob Parrish hold or possible pass interference.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 19, 15-yard penalty enforced in the previous spot, automatic first down.
B.J. Payne.
I mean, you had to know at some point it would be close because he's getting the ball. Oh, yeah, that's a 100%. It doesn't feel good. And, you know, I don't know if 15 yards is enough to atone Gunnar Watson. You can see the wince in his face, but that is extremely late.
It's been an eventful first half for B.J. Payne, who almost had an interception here in our second quarter. Now called for a personal foul.
And early in the game, Kansas State's defensive backs were playing extremely honest, good hands, good technique. But now they're starting to get a little handsy, right? They're seeing that these Troy wide receivers, they can definitely run with them, and it's making it kind of good for Troy's offense, right? Where they can just try to take shots and try to make plays in that way and get penalties off of them.
Troy with 2 timeouts. They could run the football if they want. Just a 3-man rush. Clock stops, 1:03 remaining in our second quarter.
Yeah, they wanted to have Ethan Connor stay in as a blocker and then kind of sneak out, and maybe they would ignore him. They don't. Nice job by Gunnar Watson, just throwing the ball over his head, throwing it away, live to play second down.
Troy last week defeated Stephen F. Austin 48-30. Kansas State had a walk in the park. They shut out SEMO 45-0. We expected this to be a fair fight, and it has been. Barber, the man in motion. Oh, dangerous pass. That was Jacob Parrish, the corner for K-State, who was closing quickly.
So if you're Troy, you have to know, because Gunnar Watson has gotten the ball out on time, the defensive backs are going to start to trigger. They're going to start to trigger on these single cut routes. And Parrish does a very good job of trying to come underneath and make a play for the defense. Now, if you're Troy and you understand that, if you can buy an extra beat, leave an extra guy in protection to help with Khalid Duke, you can run a double move to make sure that you get this ball in the end zone.
All right, because of the back-to-back incompletions, there's still a ton of time remaining in our second quarter. Play clock down to 3. Watson to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Chris Lewis again! This guy's got hands like fly traps. Second one-handed grab for Lewis.
Didn't need a double move at all. He gets vertical steps on his toes and then just runs the fade route. Very nice job of getting outside, but this is special. Only needs one hand. Lewis is putting on display quite the pair of hands. Wow.
2 one-handed grabs in the second quarter for the transfer from Kentucky, Chris Lewis, who didn't catch one pass last week. Right-handed, left-handed, and 2 hands.
That's impressive. I mean, I love the detail in the route, getting on the toes of the defender. And how about the throw by Gunnar Watson? I mean, it's a perfect throw. It cannot be defended. Drops from the heavens and right into the hands of Lewis.
Well, his left arm was kind of being held up a little bit by Will Lee, the corner.
And that's a touchdown on Sunday, too. Gets both feet in. I mean, some eyes are going to be open. I'm just going to say that. The Sun Belt Conference, you're going to have some trouble with this guy. I mean, 6'4", 204 pounds. He's a man. And you say they didn't catch a pass last week. Well, not a lot of guys caught passes because of the effectiveness of Kamani Vidal, who on the ground was exceptional, 10 yards to carry. But today, these receivers are on full display, and Gunnar Watson is dealing.
Well, the really only negative about that drive for Troy is they left some meat on the bone. It was a 5-play, 75-yard drive. They only burned 97 seconds of game time. So still 52 ticks remaining for Kansas State. And Kansas State has 3 timeouts. Clock is moving now on the return. This is Porter. Out to the 30.
On the return, number 16, Seth Porter. Penalty flag on the
There's
ball.
a penalty flag down on the field. And this would be disastrous if it's against Kansas State.
Offside, kicking team number 42. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
That's hard to do, get an offsides on a kickoff. So an extra 5, giving Kansas State a head start. Remember, Troy's going to get the ball to begin our third quarter. So if Kansas State doesn't put any points on the board here, Troy's got a chance to take the lead first time they touch it in the second half.
And we've got ourselves a dogfight right now. But if you're Will Howard, you can't press, right? You can't press. You have to stay within the framework of the offense and continue to just play Kansas State football. If he presses, that could prove disastrous.
Wildcats with 3 timeouts. Setting up the screen to Garcia. And he is down at the first down marker.
I absolutely love that call by Colin Klein, because you know who your quarterback is. You know that he's a fierce competitor, and he sees the game flipping away. He wants to try to make a play. Well, take it out of his hands, right? Call a screen and allow Garcia to make a play. Nice job by offensive coordinator Colin Klein, knowing the personnel and knowing what he can get done.
So the timeout comes with 40 seconds remaining in our first half. I'm not sure there's a bigger name in the history of Kansas State football than Colin Klein.
Yeah, and he's so all shucks about it too, right? You know, we were talking to him, and I said, hey, man, if you had a tight end like Ben Sinnott back in the day, would you have won the Heisman? He burst out laughing. He said he raved about how talented Ben Sinnott is, and obviously everyone in the country kind of knows, but Colin Klein was a monster here at Kansas State.
2012 Johnny Unitas Award winner, best quarterback, Heisman finalist, Same initials as his head coach, too, Chris Klein. They can be connected to him forever, right? 2 CKs. Kansas State, that's their first timeout. They've got 2 remaining. And they actually added some time on the clock. All right. It's getting from good to better for Kansas State. Now 42 ticks remaining. They bumped it up 2 seconds. Pressure. And down goes Howard. Javon Sullivan. First sack of the day for Troy.
How about this by Javon? So he goes up and jump underneath, slap the hands down, and a nice job of getting to the quarterback. Speed on the edge. This offensive line is heralded. Everybody knows about the Kansas State offensive line and how good they are. They're big, very big guys. And when you're Solomon, you've got to make sure that you use your speed to your advantage. He's only 6'2", 249 pounds, right? He's not a big guy. So he has to turn power to speed and speed to power. He does a very good job there.
It's a loss of 8 yards. Solomon, leader on this defense. Coaches were talking about he's by far their best player, at least of the guys up front. He's put up numbers, just a junior from Tallahassee, Florida. And now with 33 seconds remaining in our second quarter, a 2nd and 18. And just thinking forward, if Kansas State has an incompletion here, and there's 25 seconds remaining, we'll have to punt it away.
Yeah.
It's got to be a good punt. All right, interesting play call right here. How aggressive do you want to be? 2nd and 18.
I go screen here.
Quarterback keeper. Howard. He's about 2 yards short, maybe 3, from where he gave himself up. It's 3rd down.
Will Howard, 6'5", 242. They call a play just to kind of stay on a little bit of a schedule so they can punt this ball away and flip the field. He's got an opportunity to go get the first down.
Well, they call a timeout. It's still only 3rd down.
Yeah. So you just never know what's going to happen, right? You want to try to go get that first down right away.
And remember, we talked about this last week, Devin. It's when you first decide to give yourself up.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people at home, and maybe 50,000 in the building, are saying to themselves, well, that's not where he slid. The ball is where he first committed to give himself up. So it's going to be 3rd and 3, when it kind of looked like it should have been 3rd and 2, maybe 3rd and 1. But 3rd and 3 with 25 seconds remaining. Now, Kansas State just used their last timeout, so they're cooked in that category. Kansas State, 3rd down and 3.
Not a lot of guys in the box. You can run the ball, but time is an issue.
This is Ward out of the backfield. He's got the first down and stops the clock.
Nice job, man-to-man. It's not quite man-to-man. It looks like man-to-man with the linebackers chasing Ward, but he's just dropping to his flat, and so he settles his feet in the flat, and then when he settles his feet, the ball's caught. He gets run right past.
Chris Tennant, the kicker for K-State, had a 51-yarder last week, so he's got enough leg. Howard caught well inside field goal range. Maybe a touchdown. Brooks, did he? Yes! Touchdown, K-State! What a cataclysmic turn of events. Looked like they were dead to rights. Other end of the field, they come back and put 6 on the board.
Brooks is going to come here from the other side of the field, and it looks like they have it looked up, but he runs right past the linebacker and catches the ball, and then the rest is all him. How about the blocking downfield by Jackson, and he stays in bounds, tiptoes up the sideline for 6. Wow, that changed quickly.
I think Kansas State was thinking best case scenario, let's get a field goal attempt. But they get greedy and get a touchdown. 39 big ones to Phillip Brooks.
It's a very nice job by Brooks, just finding his way through the zone defense. See there, he goes underneath, and it really throws the linebacker for a loop, and then up the sideline for a touchdown. Nice job. You see so many receivers go in front, right, and they just get walled off by the linebacker. Well, Howard had enough time. Brooks goes underneath. He falls down and end zone.
If your name is Brooks, you better meander from side to side pretty well. He does. He has scored a touchdown both receiving and running here in our first half. He's already gotten a couple votes for Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. He's got 6 catches, 87 yards, and 1 touchdown through the sky. 1 carry, 2 yards, and a touchdown on the ground.
But what do we see on that drive? Will Howard, take what the defense give you. But I want to give more credit to Colin Klein, who divides plays to make sure you keep your quarterback out of harm's way. You make sure that he makes the right decisions, easy plays, easy completion. He hits all his layups, and they've got themselves a touchdown.
All right, I've got one thing I'm rooting for in the second half. Last week, Will Howard, in their win over SEMO, he threw a touchdown, he ran for a touchdown,
Amazing.
And he caught one.
It's my dream.
We need Phillip Brooks to throw a touchdown pass in the second half.
We do.
Then we will have back-to-back weeks for Kansas State. Someone running for a touchdown, catching one, and throwing one, but it'd be 2 different humans.
Man, when I'm watching film, I was very jealous of Will Howard. I mean, that's the quarterback's dream. Because, it's easy to get the run and the throw, but the catch is always the tricky one. I almost got it against Ohio State in 2013. But Gallen just didn't throw me a good ball, man. Come on, Gallen, throw me a good ball. I had blockers out in front.
Who won that game? I missed it. Michigan versus Ohio State. Who won that game?
Oh, this guy. I just can't. I don't even know. I don't even understand how we're still partners. This is ridiculous.
All right, this will probably be the final play of our first half. Gunnar Watson, oh my goodness, had it taken away from behind. It's close. And that will end our first half of play. Brendan Mott almost ripped the shoulder off of Gunnar Watson. And K-State with some pep in their step. They're going to go to that locker room and they lead by a score of 21-10. Now let's throw it to LA for the State Farm halftime show. The 15th ranked team in the country, Kansas State, they knew they'd be challenged at taking on a Troy team that has won 12 consecutive games dating back to last season. It is a 21-10 K-State lead at intermission. Take a look at our credible team comparison. Let's look at those numbers. Passing yards close to equal. First downs close to equal. 1 turnover aside.
Yeah, 1 turnover for both these teams. I think that Troy, they're doing a really good job in this game. But that end of the half, it really changed things, right? It looked like they were going to go down and score, then get the ball back at half, and then somehow Kansas State makes a play. But I think we got a good second half ahead of it.
He's Devin Gardner. I'm Eric Collins. Yeah, big story for what Kansas State was able to do in that first half was their quarterback play, Will Howard, who last week threw for a touchdown, ran for 1, and caught one. This week, it's got a chance for Phillip Brooks to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, the story in that first half was multiple guys doing multiple things. You got Will Howard, who can throw it. He can run it, right? That's a big run on that last drive before half. And then you got Phillip Brooks. He can run it. And like you said, obviously can catch it, but if he can make a throw, that'd be something special. But this is the catch at the end of the half to get in the end zone, tiptoed up the sideline. I think both these guys have been special. And, coming into the season, everybody's wondering who's going to replace the production of Deuce Vaughn, right? The Deuce can't be loose if he's in Dallas. So I think that it's been a good job of just delegating to every person. Hey, you do this, Phillip Brooks, you catch here, Garcia, Jackson, everybody has a hand in making sure this offense is just as explosive as it was a year ago.
Well, right now, Will Howard and Phillip Brooks both cooling their heels on the bench. Troy's got the football to begin our second half. Second all-time meeting between these two schools. First in 20 years, though. It's going to be Gunnar Watson. Last 3 drives really stepped up his game. Those are the only points of the game for Troy in those last 3 drives, after putting up a goose egg in that first quarter.
Let's talk some halftime adjustments, though. For Troy, that you hadn't had a lot of time to pass the ball, right? You got 1, 2, 3 hitch, and the ball has to be out on time. So knowing that, I think that the Kansas State defense is going to try to work against that and try to make you get that ball out just a little quicker.
Kimani Vidal was super quiet in the first half. 9 carries, 23 yards.
Yeah, in the beginning of the game, I talked about Kansas State's defense making sure they force Troy to go long, force them to use their quarterback, Gunnar Watson, to throw the ball down the field, and they've done a very good job to this point in the game of holding Vidal to not a bunch on the ground, but Gunnar Watson's done a great job through the air.
They fake it to Vidal. Little quick hitter, close to the first down marker.
He used two.
That's Chris Lewis's first catch with two hands.
He used two.
He had
How about
two
that?
catches in the second quarter, both sensational one-handed grabs.
That's a big guy. Look at him next to the defensive backs of Kansas State. I mean, that's got to be a tough cover.
So third down. Pivotal play here, just right out of the chute here in the third quarter. Troy wanted to stay on the field offensively. K-State wanted to get off of it.
Gunnar Watson can keep it, and it's a snap.
Direct snap to the tailback, and it didn't fool K-State. It did not fool the well-coached Kansas State Wildcats.
Watch this speed off the edge. Oh my goodness. The move from safety to linebacker was so smart for Purnell. He stops this play. He should not be able to make that play from 7 men down the line of scrimmage, but he does, and it sets up a fourth down for Troy.
Middle backer, Daniel Green, number 22, he actually was fooled. He was looking the other way when the ball was snapped, but he got help to get bailed out.
And Desmond Purnell has got great speed at that linebacker position. A little trickery here. See what we got.
Interesting formation.
They didn't get the look they want, so they go back to the traditional punt.
Here's Brooks. He's already had a day and a half. Phillip Brooks to the 45 with a vicious stiff arm on Terry Thomas. 31 yards for a guy who's going to get heavy consideration for Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, I mean, you kicked it Phillip Brooks on that left side of the field, and he always is going to take it on that 200-meter dash track where he goes outside and he gets vertical. He's got good speed, and he almost gets away, but a nice job making the tackle by number 12 Terry Thomas. Man, he held on for dear life there.
So Kansas State, they've got the football. DJ Giddens trapped behind the line. That's Terry Thomas. Did it on special teams. Now a tackle from scrimmage. It was Thomas along with Richard Jubinor. A loss of 2. Never called Jubinor's name very often.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas State hasn't had to get into that pure drop back pass situation, right? And it kind of removes Jubinor from the equation, but a very good job there getting across the face of the offensive lineman and getting in there to try to get a tackle for loss.
Back-to-back carries for Giddens. Tackle made by Terry Thomas. Third down. For those of you out there saying, Troy University. All right, it's Troy, Alabama. Probably the best to ever come out. DeMarcus Ware. Been a special summer for him.
Hall of Fame.
Pro Football Hall of Fame. Longtime Dallas Cowboy DeMarcus Ware. Longtime members of the Sun Belt Conference. Champions of the Sun Belt last year.
The attention on Senate has really opened up to everyone else.
Third down. Gets past Jubinor. And the pass is incomplete. That was the closest Jubinor has gotten to Will Howard, and it forces the fourth down.
Well, what was it? That obvious pass situation. Jubinor off the edge. You can see him. He's in that stance. He's trying to get after the quarterback. Nice move there. Just clubs the offensive lineman right out of the way and forces Will Howard to flush.
Got lucky. Actually, almost looked like he tried to kick him. Kind of trip him up with the left foot.
Well, that's what the linemen do, right? They got to try to find a way to stop him from getting to his quarterback.
Fair catch called for. Oh my goodness, and made at the 4-yard line. That's pretty deep for a fair catch. Jabri Barber may want to do over on that. Kansas State's defense on the field right now.
Yeah, they were good last week, and they've been good again today, making sure they put a lid on that run game of Troy. Last week, they only allowed 6 yards. This week, 36 yards to this point in the game. A Troy team that, if you don't know, they rushed for 248 yards, one single guy, and the team was super successful on the ground. So that's a nice job by K-State. But here, they're going to be able to flex their defensive run-stopping muscles because you're going to get a lot of heavy run here in the shadow of your own end zone.
Ball spotted at the 4-yard line, and throwing out of the end zone, Watson, nobody home. Closest defender was actually the Kansas State corner, Jacob Parrish.
Remember we talked earlier about Troy and the K-State defense getting to the receivers because they know the ball is coming out quick. Well, Troy tries to go with the double move there, and the K-State defenders were all over it. Parrish was back on that double move and almost made the play, like you said.
Night and day difference between the rushing offense for Troy from last week to today. Last week, Kimani Vidal had 248 yards. Right now, he's only got 27. This is Asa Martin, and Martin with some breathing room for Troy. He's upset he didn't get more, but that's at least a first down and well away from their own goal line.
Man, quick combat. Going to get a guy pulling outside to make sure that he clears the way.
Holding offense, number 66, half the distance to the goal, second down.
Eli Russ called for the hold, and that's going to take it all away.
That hurts. That does not feel good if you're the Troy offensive coordinator or anybody else involved, because that's a big play to get out of the shadow of your own defense, or shadow of your own end zone. Remember, when you're in this position, it's called the black zone, and you want to just try to get 2 first downs, right? You want to get 2 first downs to create some space for you to punt the ball away if you do not continue to drive and flip the field. But now you're in this 2nd and 13, and you have to imagine so close to your goal line, it's going to be something that hits quick in the run game.
Martin's got it to the 6-yard line. Daniel Green on the tackle. Colby McAllister also in that mix. It's a gain of 3, maybe 4, and it's 3rd down.
It's a nice job. They created some space, but now you get all those pass rushers coming in. So remember, if you're Troy, you just cannot drop back and start to move around in the end zone, and also holding in the end zone. When you have these offensive linemen who are trying to protect against really good pass rushers, holding is something that will create a safety. And then number 29 on your screen, Khalid Duke, has been getting to the quarterback, but just hasn't been able to get that sack yet.
Barber, the man in motion. 4-man rush. Watson drives it down the field, and this time Ross can't make the play. It was Chris Lewis who had made all the one-handed catches in the first half. This time, Devontae Ross can't do it.
Yeah, he goes up, and I don't know why I won, right? I don't know if he saw his teammate. He said, hey, I know he's going to get a lot of love for those one-handed catches. Let me go make one. But I think he had the opportunity to jump up and go catch that with 2 hands, and he's going to be kicking himself all week because that could have been a huge conversion.
So another chance for Phillip Brooks to return a punt. He's already scored a touchdown on the ground and through the air. Won't get a chance to touch this one. Ball bounces at the 45-yard line. It's a punt of 40 yards, no return. All right, we come back. Kansas State with the football. They've got the lead. 21-10's our score. Well, next on FS1, it is a potential playoff preview. Julio Rodriguez, hotter than a pepper sprout. And the Seattle Mariners going to take on Randy Arozarena and the Rays. It all begins next on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
I mean, when people listen to our broadcast, I'm sure they always hear something they've never heard before.
Well, if you listen to Johnny Cash, you know hotter than a pepper sprout.
Hotter than a pepper sprout?
Oh, yeah. Come on to Jackson. First down carry, Treshaun Ward is smoked. Luis Medina finishes him off. He was first grabbed by Jordan Stringer, but it was the 300-pound Medina.
Yeah, they try to pull offensive lineman around, and he's as patient as he can be. That's a nice job of Troy's defenders, starting with Stringer, stringing it out, and then making the play.
Got a man down for Troy. And we'll take a timeout. 9:49 remaining, 3rd quarter. Troy junior linebacker Stephen Catledge being helped to the side of the field.
And here he is right here, fighting through a block. You're going to see he's going to buckle a little bit, right? He's trying to hold his ground. And then the big offensive lineman, Hayden Gillum, goes on top of him. He grabs it right away, right leg.
From the 46,
So Catledge is out of the game. Jaden McDonald, who's played a whole bunch, replaces him, number 10. Will Howard. Tons of time, but no one really open. Throws it out of bounds. It's now 3rd down and 11. Troy's defense, the last 4 drives, dating back to the second quarter, a 3-play interception, a 3-and-out. Now then there was the touchdown scored at the end of the second quarter by Kansas State. But at the beginning of this third quarter, they forced a 3-and-out. This would be a 3-and-out if they can get off the field here.
It's like you're going to get the boundary clouded with the half safety.
Let's flip it out. Little screen. This is Brooks. And Brooks is tackled short of the line to gain. That's Luis Medina again. And it's 4th down.
It's a nice job by Troy's defense, just keeping everything in front of them. And because they're doing that, once you get this screen thrown, you see it happen, right? You see it happen, so now you can come up and just make the play. The offensive lineman cannot go and block guys that are seeing the screen happen. And a very nice job by 95 Medina, making sure he traces back and makes the play. But Kansas State's going to go for it on 4th.
And they move. Kansas State, that's Taylor Portier. Didn't start, but he plays a bunch.
False start. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And that may change the decision of Chris Kleiman.
Yeah. It happened right there in the middle of your screen. It was nothing. I don't know. I don't know why. Right? It looked like they were just getting settled and about to start, and he moved there.
So the punt team will come on.
Is it possible that it was on purpose because he's smiling and everything afterwards?
Oh.
No, it's on purpose to create more space to punt the ball away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it to me. Fair catch called for and made at the 10. Deshaun Stoudemire, that's a 33-yard punt.
And nobody was, I think that might have been on purpose, Eric. Nobody was up in arms. Everybody was just like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. You know what I mean? And he's like smiling. Like,
okay. You know better than I would.
I'm just telling you, with Coach Kleiman as your coach, you're not laughing and smiling after you get a false start penalty when you're trying to go for it on 4th.
All right.
I think they did that on purpose just to get some more space to punt the ball away. So even though he does get this penalty, I don't want to
stay with us on the postgame show. This will be the first question we ask Coach Kleiman.
I know, right?
All right, so Troy's got the ball. We thought this would be their strong suit, running the football. It has not been. Jordan Lovett is in the game. First time we've seen Lovett. They fake to him, and the pass is incomplete, batted away. Jacob Parrish on the defense.
As good as the catches have been for Lewis, the one thing he hasn't had is a bunch of separation. Parrish has been in position. Very nice job of him being in phase and making sure he gets that left hand across the body and not make contact with the rest of the body. Very nice job by Parrish. He's had a really good day covering in space.
Vidal and Martin both in the game together. I'm not sure we've seen this look so far today. Play clock's down to 10. Vidal. And he's not going up against Stephen F. Austin anymore. Yards are easy to come by last week, 248 of them for Kimani Vidal. This time he picks up just 1 yard. Austin Moore, yet another tackle.
Man, I'm just telling you, Austin Moore is violent. He came into that line of scrimmage with violent intentions, and I can't wait to get a chance to show you, because when you see offensive lineman's head go back, like way back, that was outstanding job of filling that hole and then making the play.
He's only 219 pounds.
That's what I'm saying.
Good size, but it's not incredible.
My goodness.
3rd and 9. They need to get to the 20. Down goes Watson. Khalid Doak, his first sack of the ball game. It's a loss of 7.
We've talked about it. You've had a bunch of time, Duke has gotten close, but let's take a look at that first play where, look at the boom, just jacks up the tight end and makes the play, and that creates this 3rd and 9. And when you got obvious pass situations, Duke to the house. The quarterback's house, that is.
Takes him all the way down to the basement. Second sack of the day for Kansas State, punting out of the own end zone. And this is a short punt And Brooks is tackled at the 43-yard line. Del Pettis, safety, makes the tackle.
Khalid Duke has been all day beating his guy, getting close, but the quarterback, Gunnar Watson's done an outstanding job of getting the ball out on time. But on that play, those obvious passing situations where you can just pin your ears back, there's not a player on the Troy offensive line that can block Khalid Duke. He's going to get to the quarterback. The idea is to try to trick him, give screens, different things like that. But when those obvious pass situations, there's nothing you can truly do. That's a nice job of Duke just winning and getting to the quarterback.
All right, we haven't even played 8 minutes here in our second half, but we've had 5 possessions, and all 5 possessions have resulted in 3 and outs. So both sides clearly listening to the defensive coordinators in that locker room at the half. That is a completion gain of about 3 yards. Keegan Johnson. All right, welcome to Kansas State football. That's his first catch on the year, the transfer from Iowa. Keegan Johnson was a big-time get when he transferred over.
He's very productive at Iowa.
And ball's loose. And I don't know. Troy's saying they've got it.
Giddens found a way to wrap it up, and he's holding on for dear life.
That's still Kansas State ball.
When did the ball come out, though?
I think they said white ball. If you can read lips, they said white ball, and it is white ball.
Wow. They snatched that ball from him. He had that ball pinned to his chest underneath the pile, and they found a way. But when does the ball come out? Gets the ball there. Oh, no, that's a elbow. I was about to say.
Elbow's on the ground.
I'm watching. I'm like, wait a minute. That ball popped out so late.
Knees down.
Knee, elbow, forearm, head, everything.
Yeah. Folks, this is going to be turned around. This is temporarily Troy ball.
But I love how the Troy defenders took the ball from him underneath that pile because he had his arms wrapped around it. And they found a way to snatch it out, but it would be Kansas State ball, second down. Look at this referee does not skip chest down.
The ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the defense is under further review.
Okay.
We got to get in the weight room with him. Come on, Eric. We got to get our act together.
Just a couple push-ups.
A couple.
Okay, so it looked as if everything about DJ Giddens was down. Still possession of the ball.
Yeah, there's
left
the knee right there.
Is down.
And then there's the elbow right there. And then there's the ball. It's such a delayed reaction for everybody on the field, right? And everybody's like, oh, wait, there's the ball. How'd that get there?
It was recovered by number 4, Buda Jones, who's had a nice ball game. We've called his name quite a bit. But we don't think this call on the field is going to hold water.
But we've been wrong before.
I've been wrong a lot of times before.
But I don't think we're wrong on this one. I think this is pretty cut and dry, and I think it should be an expedited review. But I think they're taking a little time because you got to get the time on the clock, all those different things in order, because of all the shenanigans that went on while they were trying to get the ball.
So we believe it's going to be a 3rd down and 10, right?
Maybe 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he lost a few yards on the play. A lot of that's gotten lost, and all the stuff he was doing. Maybe 11 or 12, I think.
These are Big 12 officials, for those of you who are curious about those type of things. Big 12 officials. Sometimes you have neutral conference officials, but hey, they need work as well. Getting a chance to work at Big 12 venue.
After further review, it was determined that the runner was down. It will be 3rd down at the 43-yard line.
I think we gave the wrong.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's 44-yard line.
It's all messed up.
Okay, but it is. Okay, so the ball's on the 43-yard line, 44, in between the 43 and the 44. But it will be 3rd down.
Oh, 3rd down. Got it.
So it's 3rd down and 9.
It's a very confusing sequence there. But
line to gain appears to be the 34. Okay.
Yes, soft coverage to the bottom of your screen with the aforementioned Keegan Johnson from Iowa.
Helmet comes off. Howard, he's got the 1st down. Tripped up by Jubinor, but he was not thinking about sliding. He was going to make sure he got the 1st down. There is a flag down. Buda Jones has to leave the field. His helmet came off. Did it get ripped off?
Yeah, it may
with
not.
Hands to the face.
It may be a hands to the face where he doesn't have to come off the field. I think that's what the referees are kind of talking about.
The result of the play is a first down.
Okay.
Personal foul. Defense number 4 participating without a helmet.
Oh.
15-yard penalty was added to the end of the run. It'll be first down.
Wow, your helmet comes off. You have to stop. And he did not.
Yeah.
So that adds 15 yards to the play.
I know. So you're going to get inside. But the problem is here goes underneath, right? And so now you got a soft edge. But once that helmet is off, you've got to stop playing. You can't continue to play. And he's relentless. He's playing, and he chokes his motor there at the end a little bit. But the coach is mad. He's saying that, well, his helmet was ripped off of his head is how his helmet came off, and there's no penalty there. I don't love that penalty.
You know what? There's a whole bunch of FBS schools, and you try to tell me that every single coaching staff is teaching their players, your helmet comes off, you need to stop? Is that common knowledge?
I mean, I think everybody knows the rules, but you're never getting
your instincts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it being coached up to, hey, don't do anything once we knew the rule because you have the rules meetings in camp. But, yeah, it's tough.
All right, coming in hard on the blitz and making a wonderful play. That's Terry Thomas. He's had a nice ball game.
And it's just speed through the hole. Just speed right through the hole. He can't be blocked. You're trying to bring Sinnott in and spin it. Sinnott doesn't get there fast enough. And he gets underneath, wrong arms it, and makes the play.
Wrong arms.
Keep one arm free.
It's a loss of 2. 5th tackle for loss by Troy. Ward barely back to the line of scrimmage. Jaden McDonald. So this offense for Kansas State without the penalties really hadn't been significant here in the third quarter.
And Will Howard has some opportunity in the RPO where they have pass patterns attached and quick screens attached to these runs. He's got some opportunity with soft coverage from Troy, but he just decides to hand the ball off inside. He doesn't pick up any yards. I think safety comes down. You got man-to-man down here.
Howard's pass caught. Johnson to the 1. Keegan Johnson, welcome to Manhattan. 17 big ones.
Detail. He gets vertical and then he comes back to the ball. When he comes back to the ball, the defender takes a bad angle on the break. What a play by Keegan Johnson.
And Ward tackled at the line of scrimmage. K-State went quickly to the line for that.
Details are so important. Keegan Johnson just runs back to the ball just a bit, and the defender takes a break on the ball straight down the field, and it allows him to not only catch the ball, but run and get close to the end zone. I would have loved a second look at him, trying to reach for the end zone. Looked like he got pretty close.
That was Kansas State that went quickly to the line.
Yeah.
Brooks in motion. He's already scored 1 rushing touchdown. Howard, touchdown, Kansas State.
They're going to crash, and the offensive linemen are just going to collect all of that, and Will Howard straight behind them all into the end zone. You see how they collect the defenders, collect them. If they're going to make this edge soft, collect them across, and Will Howard does a nice job of patience, allowing them to collect them pass, and he walks right in the end zone behind them.
2nd rushing touchdown of the year for Will Howard. Extra point makes it an 18-point lead for Kansas State. So the first scratch for either side in our second half. It is a touchdown, Will Howard, making it 28-10, their lead. Big News Saturday kicks off on Fox with a good one next week. How about the 7th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions in a Big Ten Conference showdown against Brett Bielema's Illinois Fighting Illini? Catch the action beginning next Saturday at noon Eastern on Fox.
Penn State finally got themselves a dynamic quarterback, Drew Aller.
You know, he's
another
from?
Elite 11 guy.
Cleveland, Ohio kid, right?
That doesn't matter, obviously.
Northeast Ohio somehow got out of the state.
He's a talented player, though, man. Big, strong, can move, off-platform throws. That'll be a good one next week.
All right, Troy, they're reeling right now. Whole bunch of nothing for the Troy Trojans here in our third quarter. Good golly. 9 plays. What is that? 5 yards here in our third quarter. This is a team that rolled up 540 yards of offense a week ago, including 342 yards rushing. But that was against Stephen F. Austin, the Lumberjacks. This is against the 15th ranked team in the country, Kansas State, here in Big 12 country. Kimani Vidal. They fake it to him. Watson's pass incomplete. Parrish seems to be everywhere defensively.
I mean, and I don't think you realize he covered from the outside numbers to the middle of the field, right? He stayed in contact with the wide receiver, a receiver who's been outstanding today, to say the least. But Parrish has done a very good job of getting in there and the timing of his hand inside to make sure it's not pass interference. Man-to-man defense, you got the linebackers outside.
Quick hitter. Short gain. That's Chris Lewis. Lewis now with 5 catches, 50 yards. Kansas State defense, a couple of sacks. I like that. TFLs, tackles for losses, 7 of them.
They're playing some good defensive football.
One interception was made by Will Lee back in the first half. Third down.
Troy makes some wholesale changes, so it allows Kansas State to get some fresh bodies in. There he goes.
Ball's loose. And down goes Watson. Khalid Duke. That'll be his 2nd sack of the quarter.
Gotta love the details of this defensive line. Take him here, go forward, and then around to the quarterback. Nice job by Khalid Duke, and a nice job by the defensive corner making sure they give him a different look. Don't just put him on the outside. Put him inside and allow him to go up on the guard and then wrap around and go make a play on the quarterback. He's really coming alive here late while Troy has to throw the ball.
Who's making all these sacks? It was the Duke. It was the Duke. You don't got the trading places.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, Eddie Murphy. Fair catch is called for and made by Phillip Brooks. Eddie Murphy's a Detroit guy, you know. I just figured you'd be chapter and verse in all of his movies.
I don't know what movie that is. What movie is that?
Trading Places.
Oh, I love Trading Places.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd.
I don't remember that part.
It was the Dukes. Remember they had a bet?
Yeah, I don't think he said it like that.
It was the Dukes. I think we'll check it up. We'll go to the tape.
I don't think that was.
Kansas State's got the ball in the lead. They lead by 18, 28-10.
This is where that Kansas State offensive line can start to lean on them. You got a big bubble here on this side of the line of scrimmage.
And the catch is made. That's Johnson. So Johnson, not a part of the mix in the first half, but here in the third quarter, showing you what he's all about.
Man, that's a nice catch, right? It's just a hitch route, but Will Howard made it a bit of an odyssey in itself. He dives and makes the catch all hands.
5-yard gain for Johnson. 3 catches, 25 yards. Giddens crosses midfield. It'll bring up third down. Luis Medina, the tackle.
I really love how Colin Klein has really simplified things for Will Howard. Remember, he had the interception in the first half, but he's really made things simple. Hitches, screens, allowing him to insert himself into the run game. I think Colin Klein's done an outstanding job today settling Will Howard down.
Third down and 2. Clock continues to run, winding down our third quarter. Blitz. Howard throws it away. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance for a first guess. 4th down and 2. What do you do?
I'd go for it. They across the 50. I don't see why not. You got complete control of this game. They're going to trot their guys off the field. I mean, because of the way their defense is playing, I understand this. But for me, I would love to stay on the field 3rd and 2. I think we can go get 2 yards against the Troy defense that, you know, they feel good about themselves that they got you to 4th down. But then it's always that kind of like, oh, man, you going to go for it too?
Spinning punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 19-yard line. All right, Devin, what's this all about?
Oh, it's about the little guys, right? The guys that are not Power 5. We're going to highlight 5 guys every single week on Gardner's Group of 5. Obviously, one of these guys are in our game today. Kamani Vidal. Chris Mitchell got a win against Maine. LaVale Bailey. Now, those stats aren't very eye-popping, but if they beat Purdue and he got the game-winning PBU to make sure his team gets that victory. And the quarterback, obviously, outstanding as well. That's going to be our thing for every single game we do together. We're going to make sure we highlight the little guy.
I like
You're all about the little guy, right?
Kind of am. That's right. That's kind of who I base my life on, the underdog. I like it. But you're a Michigan guy. You're a top dog, not an underdog.
You know.
Watson wants to throw on 1st down. I like it, though.
I think it's important, right? Because national stage, they don't always get a chance to get on it. And I think that their fan base will appreciate, you know, the guys that are not Power 5, don't get that national attention. They'll make sure you highlight some guys that are special throughout the country.
I want to ask you, talking about one of the guys on your list.
Defense, number 2, 10-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
Kobe Savage breathing life into the offense of Troy. Why do you think that Kimani Vidal has had such a difficult time running today against Kansas State?
Well, remember when we talked to the coaching staff, they made it clear we know who he is, and we're going to force Troy to throw the ball. And so you got guys, too many guys, right? You got 5 and 6 and 7 guys in the box. That's just a hard box to run against when you are a better running team. But if the team's just a little bit like guys like Uso in the middle of that defensive line, they're already a bigger team with more guys.
Running into that crowded box, and Vidal crosses over the 30.
I mean, when you start the play and Uso, he's the 0 nose, right? He's right over the center at the point of attack. You can't move him, right? So already at the start, in the middle of your offense, you cannot move one guy, and then you got those other guys that are free to move throughout the defense. It just makes it increasingly difficult for Vidal to get going. Right now, 8 guys in the box.
And they give it to Vidal, and he beats it. Look at him go! Kimani Vidal! By far and away his best run of the day, down to the 25-yard line.
Take a look at the center here. He's going to move Uso. What did I just say? He wasn't able to move him, but now he moves him, and once he's moved, we've got action. Vidal with a big run.
46 yards. That changes the day quite a bit for Kimani Vidal. And that's going to end our 3rd quarter. Maybe a little boost of energy for Troy. They've got the football. Kansas State leads 28-10. All right, 4 fingers in the air. Let's finish this one off in style. We've made it to the 4th quarter. It is a 28-10 lead for Kansas State over Troy. Troy was limping, left for dead on the side of the road. 13 plays for 3 yards to begin our 2nd half. But their most recent play, 46-yard scamper by Vidal. Using that as a boost of momentum. Trying to go to the end zone, pass is incomplete. Looking for Chris Lewis, who has the game's only touchdown for Troy.
Troy tries to motion Chris Lewis down inside to try to free him up from the clutches of Parrish, right? I mean, Parrish has been all over him, making sure that he isn't able to get going and recreate some of those special plays he had in the 1st half. And Parrish is there again, and the throw is just a bit outside.
Vidal. Yeah, those pads popping. It's going to bring up 3rd down, probably about 7 yards. And it's getting to the point in the game, Devin. Field goals aren't going to do much for you.
Yeah.
It's maybe 4-down territory no matter where they are for Troy.
especially just because you haven't had a bunch of explosive plays from Troy. You got that one just recently with Vidal, the long 40-something yard run, but it's just you haven't been able to recreate that, right? So you don't know how many times you're going to get down here. So this could be, especially depending on how many yards they get here, this could be 4-down territory.
They like their tight end, Ethan Connor, number 14. Having to check down, and the pass in the general vicinity of Jabri Barber, but he had no chance to make a play. And it's now 4th down.
3rd and 7 makes it very hard, but you can see these Kansas State defensive players are getting in that zone defense, and their eyes are on the quarterback. NFL, that would have been a penalty now. You're right. Can't get him to the ground too aggressively now.
So the decision is to go for the field goal. Scott Taylor Renfro. Perfect 3 for 3 on the year. This one a 37-yarder. And Renfro spins it through. So it's now 28-13. 13:58 remaining in our ball game. Welcome back, everyone. Coming up on the BMW Ultimate Update, Colorado riding momentum. Georgia going for their 19th straight win. And the question of the day, will Texas upset Alabama? You want to forecast that yourself, Devin? Texas?
I think they will not. I'm a fan of Milroe, quarterback for Alabama. I remember seeing him in the spring. I'm like, wait a minute. This is an actual running back who can really, really throw. Like, he is a load as a runner, but he's a passer, too. I mean, and you know, as you've seen football all over. When you got that kind of guy, it's tough to stop.
Brooks goes airborne and falls at the 23-yard line. Phillip Brooks always has that busy dance card.
He's got to get another touchdown another way. I mean, he's slacking right now. He got the rush, he's got the receiving touchdown, and he's up and over.
What we need to do is we need him to throw a pass to Will Howard for a touchdown.
Ooh.
And then they both will have touchdowns 3 ways.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
Oh, that's what I'm rooting for. Okay, so it is 1st down and 10 for Kansas State. Total plays almost after this play will be even, right? I can't drive 55. 28-33 is our score. Kansas State trying to go to 2-0 on the year. They fake it to Ward. Howard taking the top off. And it's caught. It's Keegan Johnson again. This guy's a stud. I apologize. It's Jaden Jackson.
I see why you thought it was Keegan Johnson, but Jackson just outruns the coverage. I mean, that is an amazing fingertip catch.
First catch of the day for Jaden Jackson. And Ward barrels forward for a couple. Javon Solomon on the tackle. Jaden Jackson, number 0. Not to be confused with Keegan Johnson, number 10. Got to look at the whole number.
You got to look at the whole number.
Got to look at the whole thing.
I know you saw 0. You're like, oh my God. You got to look at the whole number, buddy. Yeah.
And Keegan Johnson's had a nice second half.
He has.
Yeah. 2nd down and 8. Ward to the 30.
Here's a look at how that happened right after. He's going to go into deep post. It's because of those cover 4 safeties. You got those cover 4 safeties. You give a quick play action, and once you have that, you can allow your receiver to run through the middle of the defense, and Jaden Jackson does it there. Very nice job. And for Will Howard, he's taking a bunch of layups. We've seen that, especially in the second half. Take the layups, and then be special when you have the opportunity. Troy gives you the defense that allows you to, and he throws a perfect throw down the middle of the field.
Jackson in motion. Ward has the 1st down. That's taken a long time, and maybe Kansas State starting to wear down that Troy defense.
Ward's got some special ability, the ability to stop and start, the ability to change direction and really have patience in the line of scrimmage and then burst through the hole. I think he's going to be somebody they're going to lean on throughout this season to replace some of that production that Deuce Vaughn left in the running game.
And that stat bottom of your screen is in jeopardy right now. Troy's 12-game winning streak on the line, but they've got to get some stops and put some points on the board. First down run, Ward to the 15. That's a grown-up run right there. 8 tough yards.
Again, Ben Sinnott, he comes this way, and so it makes this linebacker come here and opens up the middle. He hasn't done much in the passing game, but his availability, him being on the field, has really opened up a lot of things in the run game and in the pass game for Kansas State.
Tackle was made by Reddy Stewart. Now, I know it's 8 yards down the field, but that's an 178-pound guy who's willing to put his nose in there. I like me some Reddy Stewart.
He's ready.
He's rough and ready. Another first down for Ward. Now, this is what Kansas State has wanted to do all game long. Just play with power, poise, and precision. 6 more yards.
First and goal, 9-yard line.
Got a little scuff there on the visor.
That's his vision for when he throws that touchdown real high.
Ward to the 6. O'Shea Fletcher coming up from his corner spot to make the tackle. Both these corners for Troy play bigger than their listed size. Fletcher listed at 172. I like me corners that come up and hit you.
I can guarantee you they're not happy about it, though. They're like, hey, front seven, do your job, man. Tired of making tackles.
2nd and goal. Keeper Howard spun down at the 1. Oh my goodness, that was Caleb Ransaw that saved the touchdown.
My goodness, Caleb Ransaw. You all would think that he's going to walk in this end zone. This is a big 240-pound guy, and then poof, right in the choppers.
Yeah.
Man,
Howard's going to feel that on Wednesday morning.
Man, I'm telling you, because I'm looking, I'm like, oh, here he goes. He's going to pretty much walk in the end zone, and here comes the safety, Ransaw, Ransackery everywhere.
Ward waltzes in for the touchdown. 5th touchdown of the game for Kansas State. They lead 34-13.
I just love watching these big guys pull there, and then you're going to get pull around. Very nice job of getting that little skip step. These big guys are athletic, and they kick out, and Ward just walks right in the end zone.
Now that was an impressive drive. Extra point is up and good. It is a 35-13 lead. Troy with one last gasp. They'll have it when we come back. Kansas State trying to get to 2-0 on the year, and they've got a good working margin. 35-13 is their lead. In my eyes, that was the most impressive drive they've had all day long. 9 plays, 76 yards. Took a little bit off of over 5 minutes off the game clock.
Yeah, it's gone with the same theme, though, Eric, right? An offense that's able to put drives together. Remember that earlier they had a 12-play short drive, 56 yards, but being able to string plays together, and I think that's so important for Will Howard, who hasn't had a ton of reps being the guy, right? He's not the guy that's had a bunch of reps, so giving him those opportunities to string plays together and consistently do things the way they need to be done, I think that bodes well for K-State moving forward.
Now, there's someone out there that's saying to themselves, well, hold on, they called that a touchdown reception for Ward? Well, yes, technically that's scored a pass when you pitch the ball forward.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I don't think he meant to pitch it forward, though. I think that was supposed to be a lateral pitch, like not lateral behind, but like sideways, a lateral pitch. But it just happened to be a little bit forward. Look at that. That's a win, I think. That is a win. That's a win. I wish I would have got some opportunity to try to pitch the ball sideways, and it happened to be forward 1.5 inches, and they called it a touchdown pass. That'd be great.
Oh, we got a new QB in the game. It's Goose Crowder. So we go from Gunner to Goose. Those are the two quarterbacks' names for Troy. Handoff goes to Kimani Vidal. Tackle made by Daniel Green.
I wonder, is the thought here, we've got a long season. We've got a conference to play in. We don't want to subject our starting quarterback to these pass rushers of Kansas State and get these young guys some opportunities, right? Goose Crowder coming in and trying to make some plays here because you just don't know how the season will shake out. He's a transfer from West Virginia.
Native Alabama, though, so he's coming back home to play for Troy.
He's going to get a penalty. I think his pants are a little too high. Cover those knees up.
He's not the only guy in the field looking that way.
I think that's a penalty, though. I don't think they enforce it as much as they, it's kind of, it's hard to enforce. But yeah, I think that can be a penalty. I think they tell you to pull it down, and if you don't, if they want to, be, hard on you, they can call a penalty on that. Well, safety first.
There's not a lot of material to work with. I'm not sure he can take it down.
He got that thing scrunched up.
Okay.
Pull those down, Crowder.
We used to call it bloused at the knee. Is it the kids are still calling it that?
No, nobody's ever said that. I've never heard that phrase in my life, actually, Eric.
Jackie Robinson, when he played, he'd be bloused his pants at the knee.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
I was born in 91,
okay.
so
all right, well.
I'm wondering.
3rd down and 3. Goose wanted it, but he is going to be just short. It's 4th down. I say you go for it, right? If you're Troy?
I don't know. I'd say they've kind of conceded, so there's no reason to go for it here. But I love the effort for Crowder, right? He's trying to run outside. He's like, it's not there. I'm going to go run and get it. But I think if he had his pants pulled down just a bit more, he would have felt more comfortable being more aggressive, got an extra yard, extra inch. You see, he's trying to protect himself, but they will go for it.
Yeah, might as well.
I don't see the reason for this.
Line to gain is the 35. They just need to get a little bit of headway. And I don't think they got it. Oh, my goodness. I don't think they got it. Desmond Purnell comes in, and Austin Romaine was involved, and they did not get it. Nope, it's a change of downs. It's going to be Kansas State football.
Watch the speed of Desmond Purnell. Just watch him. He's going to get into this line of scrimmage so fast and get skinny. Look at him. Get skinny. Boom! Stops that play before it can even get started. I'm just telling you, on the scouting report, they better know where 32 is. I mean, he is such a big help to this defense. And like I said earlier, I think he really raises the overall defensive team speed because of how fast he is and how close he is to the line of scrimmage now, moving from that deep safety position down to linebacker.
So last year's Sun Belt Coach of the Year, John Sumrall, making the decision to go for it and try and keep his team's hopes alive. They don't get it. It's going to be Kansas State football with 6:34 remaining when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Time for a look at the day of Will Howard, who is going to be our hardest working player, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Yeah, he's been good. He's ran it. He's thrown it, and I think that touchdown that you just saw there at the end of the half is really what burst this game wide open. He's done a very good job, and he even padded his stats a little bit. A play that was supposed to be a run, I'm calling it. He pitched that ball forward and got himself an extra passing touchdown, but he's been really good today.
Now, he's still in the game. Troy made a change at their quarterback that Howard stays in the game for K-State. DJ Giddens with the run.
The coaching staff, they heard all that hoopla last week. Remember, they had to answer all these questions about the young guy, Avery Johnson. They're like, we can't give them too many looks at Avery Johnson. But here, Giddens, obviously, this offensive line is just leaning on the Troy defensive line. And Giddens gets his ball, bounces outside, and makes a nice game. I mean, fairly easy there. And that's kind of what you get when you get maybe a Sun Belt team versus a Big 12 team. You just run out of gas, right? You have these small, finite opportunities, and if you don't capitalize on them, by the end of the game, you just don't have the depth to continue to compete with the team as powerful as Kansas State. Remember, they won the Big 12 a year ago.
Christian Moore's in, old school fullback. And Giddens chooses not to follow him.
As much as, you know, Kansas State probably doesn't want to pour it on, right? They don't want to go out and go throwing the ball all over the yard. The way that Troy's playing defense with those safeties down in the box, it suggests that they should throw the ball. So I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see Will Howard take a shot into the end zone here if Troy continues to play that style of defense.
Cooper Beebe's now playing right tackle. Is that the third different position we've seen him play today?
Yeah, Troy's got the safety in the middle right now, but he's walking down tight.
Howard. Slant is caught short of the first down marker. Jaden Jackson. Second catch for Jackson here in our fourth quarter.
It's a nice job. You just got the slot fade going down the field, and then you have the slant coming underneath. Nice patience by Jackson to pick up some of those yards so that you can have a manageable third down and short. Now, you got to remember, Will Howard's still developing, right? So these are important reps for him to continue to put drives together and do things the right way on a number of occasions in a row.
And a timeout called by Kansas State. Chris Kleiman waited until the play clock was down to 4 seconds, so they took off a whole bunch of time. And now the timeout before the 3rd and 5. All right, Kansas State. They have not even attempted a field goal. Every time they got in the red zone, they've gotten a touchdown.
Yeah, 5 of them. Here's the first one. A nice little ride, a play action, and then a little jet sweep action to a soft edge versus Troy, and then a climb in the pocket. This is just before the half, and this is where I think the game turned. Brooks supposed to be a catch and try to get out of bounds. He stays in bounds and scores, and then Will Howard turns into a little bit of Cam Newton type of football player in that Q power, and then he pitches the ball forward for a touchdown pass.
You said a little bit like Cam Newton. They're going to run you out of Manhattan, Kansas. That was the play that made Colin Klein famous.
It is.
Yeah, that was a Colin Klein, if ever there was one. Quarterback keeper with that body that he had.
Yeah. Okay. Just saying, man. Cam Newton was pretty unstoppable too with it, man. What do you want from me? Colin Klein knows how big of a fan I was of his game, and he's done a very good job as a coordinator. He's not a player anymore. He's a coordinator now. Cam's still trying to play.
3rd down and 5. Blitz off the edge. Little flipper. First down, and down at the 1 is Garcia. Second time a receiver has been cut down inside a 1-yard line.
It's a very nice job of Will Howard pocket presence. He climbs up in the pocket, gives a little flipper like you called it. Let's see if Garcia is able to. Oh, I don't know. I think he might have stayed up there. No. Elbow down if the knee wasn't.
So the ball's at the 1. Clock moving, 3:40 remaining.
I want to see them give Giddens a chance to get in the end zone, but that Q power is so attractive. There it goes.
Quarterback power is denied.
So
6'5", 242 does not get into the end zone.
He was so gentle about it, though, right? He didn't really attack the line of scrimmage the way you thought he might.
You questioning his will?
It was so no. What's going on? Everybody at home, obviously, Will Howard questioning his will. I got it. But the last time he just walked in, right? So he probably thought, oh, it'd be fairly easy again. But Troy did a much better job of being stout in the middle of that defense. I say get it to the big tight end. Number 34, Ben Sinney, that fullback.
Or another quarterback keeper, and this time Howard gets into the end zone. The 6th touchdown of the day for Kansas State, and they lead 41-13.
Yeah, it's just that old rugby play where you get a big, strong tight end behind you, give him a little extra push, and it's fairly easy to get in the end zone there. It's a lot of touchdowns for Will Howard. He's got the will.
Clearly. 3 passing touchdowns for Will Howard. Now 2 rushing touchdowns for Will Howard. The only touchdown he was not involved with was the inside handoff to the wide receiver Phillip Brooks back in that first half. 42-13 is our score. 2:50 remaining when we come back to Manhattan. Real nice crowd on a Saturday afternoon in Manhattan, Kansas. And why not? There's something to root for this year. One of the better teams that you're going to see all season long playing at a really high level. Will Howard and the Kansas State Wildcats going to go to 2-0 in the red zone today. Haven't had to settle for a field goal. They've gotten touchdowns each and every time. In case you're looking at their schedule, next up, they've got a game at Missouri next week.
Is that considered a rival?
The rubber hits the road.
Would you consider that?
I know Kansas versus Missouri big time.
Yeah, I know. You think Kansas State jumps in on that?
Well, proximity. Fans from both sides can get, there easily. But okay, so you get at Missouri next week. And then it's a game. That's a Big 12 game, folks. If you're not familiar, UCF there now in the Big 12. Yeah. That's September 23rd. There's a bye week. And then Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, and TCU.
Yeah, I mean, they got an opportunity here to go back-to-back. And I'm not sure but this could be a better team, just more variety. The production will be delegated different ways, but I think this Kansas State team has the potential to be an even better team than they were a year ago. And obviously, as you know, a year ago, they won the Big 12 championship.
Goose Crowder remains in the game to quarterback the Troy Trojans. That pass to Ethan Connor for 6. For the Troy Trojans looking forward, they've got a game against James Madison next week.
2nd and 4 from the 31.
But this is going to be the first loss in some time for John Sumrall and the Troy Trojans. They had won 12 consecutive games, the longest winning streak in the country among everyone except the Georgia Bulldogs. Look at this, Devontae Ross out of bounds across midfield. 2:11 remaining.
That's a staple of their offense. They go back to the shallow cross and allow Ross to go sit in the middle of the field as their basic cross guy, the deep in route. He catches it and does a very good job. You can see there's no quit in this Troy team. They've won 12 straight for a reason. This is a prideful team, and I feel like at no point in this game did I ever think that Troy laid down. Right? I think they continue to fight, and just like Kansas State, I think Troy has a really good chance to go back-to-back in the Sun Belt Conference.
Clock is moving. Not totally convinced that Goose Crowder knows it. Out of bounds again. This time it's Jarris Williams.
Coach Clemens done an outstanding job, huh?
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Impressive guys.
Oh, he got hands too. He didn't mean to put those on. He's like, they're in my hand, I might as well.
The pride of Waterloo, Iowa. Won a handful of national championships. Coaching at the FCS level when he was at North Dakota State. Now in his 5th year. Hard to believe it's been 5 years already that he's been in Manhattan.
We've kind of gotten a chance to watch the maturation. I've seen a bunch of them. You've done even more than me in Kansas State games. So it's kind of good to see. It's really cool on defense, on offense. They've really gotten really good players. Guys are healthy. When we talked to the staff about Khalid Duke, they said in 2020, I'm just telling you, he was our best rusher. Our best rusher, but he had an injury, and then he came back, and then the emergence of Felix and Udike Uzama, and now he has to play linebacker. He's out of position, played well, but he's out of position. Now he's back at that defensive end position, and that is his natural position. He could be one of the best in the country as a rusher.
A couple of sacks for Duke. That's Cody Shufflebean you're looking at.
Uso, the big Uso right there.
It is. Seomalu,
340. My goodness.
Well, a little small victory for Troy. They're keeping the first string defense of Kansas State out in the field as we play the final minute of our game.
At least most of the first team defense. No Daniel Green there.
Oh, and the drive continues. Catch made by Peyton Higgins.
No Daniel Green, no Parrish, no Will Lee III. No Savage, no Kobe Savage. They got some of those guys out there still, though. Some of those starters are still on the field getting good reps.
Well, you talked about how the game was won for Kansas State, that play by Phillip Brooks ended the second quarter. Well, the game was cemented by the K-State defense at the beginning of the second half. They forced 4 straight 3-and-outs, and that just crushed the will of the Troy Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do too, though, right? When you're playing a team that, you know, obviously K-State is supposed to win this football game. Number 15 in the country, you have Troy coming in, playing on the road in this kind of hostile environment, and you give them life. Obviously, in that first half, it looked really close up until that last drive when K-State, because we were talking, hey, Troy goes down and scores. K-State doesn't. There's only a few seconds left. Troy gets the ball. We are in a real game here. And then Will Howard puts him on his back and makes some plays down the field just before the half. And then, like you said, in the second half, the defense came out with their ears pinned back and said no more. So it's been an impressive showing by both sides of the ball.
Crowder got hammered. Ball's loose, and it's going to be K-State ball. Toby Osunsami was the man who whacked Goose Crowder.
Osunsami, he's going to get chipped right away, and then he's going to chuck it and get right to the quarterback. Chip there, and then poof. Crowder had no idea it was ever coming. Ball comes out, and Uso jumps on the ball. I'm sure that ball doesn't have a bunch of air left after the big fella jumps on it.
So that'll go down as a sack. 4 sacks for Kansas State. Every sack is also a tackle for loss. And in total, K-State's going to finish with 9 TFLs. Pretty impressive. And taking the snap is Will Howard. And there's a reason for that, probably.
Yeah.
You keep your quarterback out there. If they brought in the young hotshot freshman Avery Johnson, that would have possibly burned another game for him if you were thinking about possibly.
No, yeah, not possibly. Yeah, there's no reason to play him because, like you said, for the freshmen, they get 4 games to play before they burn a red shirt, and there's no reason to put him in for 1 play. It would have been 1 play in this scenario. They'll allow him to stay on the bench and get some opportunities moving forward throughout the season. But that's an impressive showing by number 15 team in the country. They did exactly what they were supposed to do.
So Kansas State, they moved to 2-0. They're 42-13. They've got a game next week at Missouri, an SEC school. For Troy, their 12-game winning streak is over. They will try and regroup next week against James Madison. Devin, it's great working with you as always. A wonderful partner, the old quarterback from Michigan, Devin Gardner. I'm Eric Collins. Now let's send you back to Los Angeles for more college football coverage.